The following is a special presentation of TV6 Sports. The best high school football players in the UP meet on the gridiron at NMU Superior Dome in Marquette. It's the UP Football All-Star Game. Now, from your TV6 studios, here's TV6 Sports Director Mike Ludlam.
Welcome, everyone, to the 11th Annual UP Football All-Star Game. We'll head out to the Superior Dome in a few minutes. The teams are divided into red and black squads this year. A draft was held in March to determine the rosters. Barker River Harris coach Al Stenberg leads the black team, while West Iron County's Mike Baruti is in charge of the red squad. At least a dozen players in today's game will play college football for teams in the Upper Peninsula. Michigan Tech has 5 players at this time. Menominee's Jason Janquart, UP Small School running back Michael Wilson of Norway, UP Dream Team defensive back Scout Wonder of Escanaba, UP Large School offensive tackle Liam Guyan of Kingsford, and UP Large School linebacker Jacob Revard of Menominee. NMU has 2 recruits from this afternoon's game, UP Dream Team defensive end Cooper Twardzik of Calumet and 8-man Dream Team running back Scout Bigger of Engadine. Finlandia has 5 players, UP Small School offensive tackle David Carlson of Newberry, Westwood's Tabin Filizzetti, Munising's Alec Blank, 8-man Dream Team running back Connor Bordolini of state champion Forest Park, and Jarrett Lacasse of Rapid River. We'll send it out to Mark Evans and Jerry Tudor for the first half right after this break.
Number 3 from Norway, Josh Hunt. Number 4 from Ishmael, Donald D'Onofrio. Number 5 from Norwegian, Bailey Wittich. Number 6 from Stevenson, Jesus Macera. Number 7 from Newberry, George Severns. Number 9 from Escanaba, Hayden Haslow. Number 11 from Lakeland and Hubble, Aaron Haynold. Number 12 from Hancock, Grant Hawkinson. Number 14 from Westwood, Ethan Berg. Number 15 from Lance, Cooper Johnson. Number 16 from Gladstone, Spencer Louisville. Number 18 from Kingsford, Preston Strong. Number 20 from Norway, Rico Wilson. Number 24 from Lakeland and Hubble, Dominic Wagner. Number 25 from Superior Central, Wade Krishak. Number 26 from Menominee, Jason Janquart. Number 29 from Barker Harris, Ryan Arndt. Number 30 from Escanaba, Logan Carroll. Number 33 from North Dickinson, Jared Miller. Number 36 from Houghton, Jake Ryla. Number 41 from Gladstone, Alex Chenard. Number 44 from Barker Harris, Mike Hall. Number 45 from Stevenson, Bryce Hornick. Number 46 from Bookhaven, Brayden Thomas. Number 47 from Newberry, And number 93 from Montauk by way of Youngstown Creek, Jake Webb. The black team head coach is Al Stenberg from Park River Paris. Also coaching the black team all-stars are Bob Maycroft from Park River Paris. Kevin Molesky from Park River Paris. Scott Sergila from Westwood. Brad Wilginen from Westwood. Luke Gray from Westwood. And Mitch Messick from Westwood. These are your black team UP football all-stars. And now join us in welcoming the red team all-star players and coaches. Number 1 from St. Angus, Mason Gustafson. Number 2 from Unison, Alec Clark. Number 3 from Gladstone, Darren Johnson. Number 4 from North Central, Hunter Riley. Number 5 from Escanaba, Josh Rasil. Number 6 from Iron Mountain, Jacob Tucker. Number 7 from Kingsford, Chase Kresge. Number 8 from Escanaba, Scout Wonder. Number 9 from Norway, Connor Ortman. Number 10 from Uganda, Robbie Williams. Number 11 from Pittsburgh, Joseph Boyd. Number 13 from Forest Park, Peter Rapayak. Number 14 from Rapid River, Jared Lacoste. Number 15 from Ishmael, Aaron Corkin. Number 17 from Western County, Neil Kamaski. Number 19 from Newberry, Jeff Rahali. Number 20 from Western County, Jace Brockhagen. Number 22 from Lons, Foster Miller. Number 25 from Pittsburgh, John Lamont. Number 28 from Forest Park, Connor Portinoli. Number 30 from Eminem, Scout Bigger. Number 32 from Gladstone, Jeff Stinson. Number 33 from Forest Park, Zach Labarge. Number 36 from Gladstone, Jared Demuse. Number 38 from Hancock, Aaron Barnes. Number 41 from Menominee, Jacob Bernard. Number 42 from Westwood, David Delaney. Number 46 from Rapid River, Logan Hardwick. Number 50 from Calumet, Nick Volker. Number 52 from Escanaba, Johnny Schlenbold. Number 88 from Tony Cooper, Sportsen. Number 89 from River, Lucas Sutling. The red team head coach is Mike Maroney from West Iron County. Also coaching the red team All-Stars are Chris Thompson from West Iron County. Chris Soha from West Iron County. Kevin Lima from West Iron County. Ray Drake Jr. from Bay College. Jeff Wilson from Ishmael. Rosa East, Kevin Grundy. These are your red team UP Football All-Stars. The athletic trainers for black team are Scott Gordon, Graham Dawson, Alan Worka, and they're being fed by active physical therapy. Their athletic trainers for the red team are Nikki Mackey and Nicole Cornell, are being provided by UP Rehab Services. Now, please rise, remove your hats, and observe a moment of silence to honor all of our troops that are fighting for our country overseas and around the world, defending our freedom. We would like to extend a special thank you to the following All-Star players who have enlisted with the military. Aaron Corkin from Ishmael, the National Guard. Daniel Johnson from Gwynn, the Air Force. Ethan Mola from Westwood, the Marine Corps. David Delaire from Westwood, the Marine Corps. And Luke Moore from Pickford, the U.S. Army. Thank you. We are grateful for your service to our country. Now, please join J.C. Williams and Gladstone in the singing of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Welcome in to the 11th annual UP Football All-Star Game here on TD6 this weekend. The 80 top players across the Upper Peninsula getting together for one last run at it here on a very, very sticky late June afternoon. Alongside Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, glad you could join us here for what promises, Jerry, really to be a lot of fun here today. This is a showcase at some of the best talent you're going to see, but at the end of the day, don't get confused. These guys want to win this trophy.
That is true. They've had a full week of activities, a skills challenge, a trip to Baycliff Health Camp, and now it all culminates with this. They're, no question, exceptional athletes, and it's going to be an exciting game.
It is really a full week, as Jerry mentioned here. It starts actually when they check in. They bring canned foods, non-perishable food items in. According to Todd Goldbeck, who kind of brainchilded this thing a while ago, it has been one of the best responses for that. Nearly 1,500 pounds of food were brought into the area. And again, it does bear mentioning here, let's not get too far off the football topic, but this is one of those times a year where the food pantries and the food banks really do struggle. There's always holiday drives. Of course, the TV6 Canathon speaks for itself. But boy, we're 7-8 months past that now. And so, again, keep those food banks and those food pantries in your thoughts as we get going. A little bit different format here than you're accustomed to at high school football. We're going to play 4 15-minute quarters. So, Jerry, in some ways, some of these guys are going to wrap up their high school career playing their first college game in a way.
That's right. There are a few that are going to be going to some colleges, including Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan University. But for a large chunk of them, this is going to be the last time they put on the pads.
The Red All-Stars, they are on the left. They'll be kicking off to the Black All-Stars. And in the past, this game has been North versus South, East versus West. This time it's been a coach's draw, second year in a row where the players have actually been drafted unique, and the players and the coaches have really enjoyed that.
And any way you slice it, there's tons of talent on this field.
So we are set and ready to go here. Like we said, this is going to be a very warm afternoon, and these players, I'm sure, will be coming in and out of the ball game rather quickly. Black All-Stars won the toss, and they will take the football straight up ahead they go. And with that is Dominic Wagner from Lakeland and Hubble, and that is how things start off here for the Black All-Stars. They will start things off at the 35-yard line. You're going to see a lot of player personnel in this one because, well, they're All-Stars. You want to see as many of these guys as you possibly can. So just underway here at the Dome. Again, the 11th annual incarnation of this one. I remember very well sitting up here with Mike Ludlam back in 2008, Jerry, thinking to myself, how long is this really going to last? And 11 years later, it's become one of the premier events in the summertime.
It's a great way to showcase that UP talent.
So the Black All-Stars are going to split a single receiver out into the left-hand side. And that is... That's Hensby here on the near side, dropping straight back at the Black All-Stars. Severns into quarterback from Newberry, up the far sideline and losing a couple of yards as protection kind of collapsed on him. And that'll be a loss on the play. Don't expect a whole lot early here. You're going to get a lot of feeling out, getting used to this, because for a lot of these guys, even though they practiced this week, this is their first game action in months.
Yeah, and they're working with teammates that they've never played with before. So like you said, they had a week to practice, but yeah, there's going to be a feeling out process here for sure.
So a loss of a couple there, and the clock stays in motion here at the Dome. First quarters were just underway. And again, they'll line up the offense here with George Severns from Newberry, with the receivers out either side here for the Black All-Stars in the early going here of this football game. And he's going to keep again. Cuts outside the numbers, and not a lot there. Good pursuit by the Red, getting over quickly. Chase Kresge out of Kingsford helping out there on the tackle.
Ran two to that same side. Maybe see if there's something available on the other side.
Well, you're going to see a lot of setup in this ball game. You know, you're going to see a lot of run right, and then you'll see the misdirection play and things like that early. You're going to see a lot of run, and then run pass option and things like that. It's always fun to watch the coaching battles in this because the coaches know that they've got the talent out there with these guys, but what's the best way to utilize that talent? Hughesby from Gladstone split out to the left-hand side here for the All-Stars from the black team. 3rd down and 11. Low snap, dug in, little cross and go pattern, and this one is going to be open and just out of the reach of diving number 16, Spencer Hughesby. And again, the former Gladstone Brave. That's incomplete. That'll stop the clock. We'll see our first special teams opportunity.
Yeah, that one just out of reach.
But again, I always love the All-Star games because they're never afraid to air it out. We're looking at some of the premier throwers in the Upper Peninsula as we have a player shaken up, and it is the intended receiver, Hughesby from Gladstone. Purple helmet with the Newberry Indian. I love the way that the kids do this. It's like a lot of the college all-star games that you see. We can't tell who's who from the helmets because there's 15 different decals half the time on these decals. But that's really, truly part of the fun. You see Jacob Tucker from Iron Mountain walking by. Iron Mountain just gone with those gold helmets for the last number of years. Well, now he's got 4 or 5 different logos on there as well.
It looks like Husby's going to be all right. I think he just kind of landed weird there. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him. He's kind of holding his chest there.
So it's a long walk over to that sideline, but like you said, just a little shaken up on that plate. And this is the best part of the All-Star games, players from the red team shaking hands, high fives. You're going to see some sportsmanship in this game like you've never seen before.
Absolutely.
At the high school level. Dropping back in coverage, Jacob Rivard from Menominee. And he is joined there in the backfield by Chase Kresge from Kingsford. And there's two teams you never thought you'd see playing together.
Yeah.
One of the greatest rivalries in all of the UP, Menominee and Kingsford. Now you got two of them back in punt coverage here. Pass back is a good one. It is a pop-up to the far sideline. It's going to float right out of bounds to the 39-yard line, and that's where the Red All-Stars will take over their first possession of the ballgame. And again, 13:48, you'll see on your clock right there, as we mentioned a little bit ago. This is a 15-minute quarter, so it does have that collegiate feel to it here for these guys. And the other side of the coin on this one that I love to look at is now that this game has gone into a draft, you have guys that played high school together that are now on opposite sides of the field. And I love the coaching battles in here because even though they're both not head coaches right now, you got Jeff Olson from Ishpeming, Scott Sergula from Westwood, who coached against each other, but also coached with one another at Ishpeming for a number of years.
Yeah, many years, many good years.
Yeah, so you'll see those little itty-bitty battles as the game goes along here. So the red team takes over. Darren Johnson from Gladstone had a tremendous senior year, and they'll swing the pass out here to the flat, out to Ortman out of Norway, or that is at 8, I believe, not a 9, and sure enough it is. That's going to be Scout Wonder out of Escanaba.
Another tremendous athlete, able to dance along the sidelines and pick up a few extra yards, it looks like.
So the Gladstone Brave swings it out to the Escanaba Eskimo. And I personally watched Darren Johnson tear apart a couple of teams on his own this past season. Now he is playing on somewhat of a bum ankle. So keep an eye on that here as they set the ball to the hash mark. It is a first down. They got to reset the chains on the far sideline. And then they'll set the clock back in motion. Darren Johnson's one of these guys, great arm, even better feet.
Yeah, loves to scramble. Said an athlete he looks up to last night during the banquet is Cam Newton.
Connor Ortman from Norway split out to the right-hand side, split left as well, and Johnson's going to do what he does and just drift to his left. Launches this one far side, got his man open at the 29-yard line, and slipping out of coverage down to about the 11. And just one of those plays that get it in the hands of the guys with the speed, Jerry, and let them go.
Yep, speed kills. Nice play.
So as you take a good look at this, they split the receivers out, and Jaron Johnson, that's a tough throw when you're a right-handed quarterback.
And some nice yards after catch there, making a few guys miss and carrying a few guys along with you along the way.
That's Sundling there from Rapid River that actually made the catch, and it puts the red team in business here with 13:31 to go here in the opening quarter. Black All-Stars already had their first possession. They went 3 and out, and now a timeout's going to be called by the red team. This is a key point in the ball game here, believe it or not, early, because you want to be able to set the table for yourself here offensively.
Yeah, if you're the black team, you're not happy with the 3 and out and then giving up some big yardage right away to the red team.
So again, as we take a look down here, coaching staffs, Al Stenberg from Bark River Harris taking over the black team. And he brought a lot of his boys with him, Bob Maycroft, Kevin Molesky, all joining him on the staff. And it's a Bark River Harris Westwood combination. Scott Sergula from the Patriots, Brad Wilgenin as well, Luke Gray, Mitch Messing. So you have a Bark River Harris and Westwood flair on the black all-star team. On the red side of things, Mike Baruti from West Iron County, and he brought Chris Thompson and Chris Soha with him, along with Kevin Lenoff. Chris Soha, that name here locally should ring a bell. He coached the Marquette Redmen for a couple of years, I believe 2008 and 9, before Dave LaHillier took over the Redmen program. Ray Drake is also coaching for Bay College. Jeff Olson, his 6th stint as a coach out of Ishpeming. And Kevin Grundy is here. Now this is interesting, and this kind of ties into the history of this ball game. From Wausau East High School, Wausau, Wisconsin. Hang on, we'll give you your history lesson on that one here in just a couple of moments. But Darren Johnson's got his troops at the 11-yard line here. It actually is first and goal from the 10. And they pitch right side and getting dropped after a gain of maybe a half a yard. And once again, that is Scout Wonder out of Escanaba out of the backfield.
Tremendous athlete. Yeah, the D pursued him and weren't able to, maybe after that timeout, they felt a little
Well, they
pep.
tried to string that one out here, and you're talking all-stars on both sides of the ball here, so the black line and linebacker core just stayed on their assignment. Second down and goal here from the 10. Officially no gain on the plays. We're just a couple of minutes into this opening quarter. And as we said, the black team already with their 3 and out. That's Ortman split out to the top of the screen. As Johnson calls it out. Bottom is really from Newberry. Johnson doing what he does. He got away. Pump fake. Now looking, waiting. Ran out of real estate. Spin move down to the 5. Boy, it looked like they had him for a loss. And Darren Johnson did that for Gladstone all of last year in the Mid-Peninsula Conference.
He sure is fun to watch.
Didn't look like he's sporting a bad wheel, did it?
No, not really. That spin move was something else.
Get another look at this, and again, this is just great coverage downfield here by the Black All-Stars, and Johnson with that little pump fake, nowhere to go with the football. And you'll see this staying in bounds, spins, and finally gets dragged down by a couple of defenders. Ball on the right hash mark here, and they're going to split twins out to the left-hand side. Ray Holly inside the receiver, Ortman. And Johnson back, dropped the football, and he gets buried back there as a helmet comes flying free. And Darren Johnson's head, thankfully, not in that helmet. And a mistake there by the Red All-Stars. And again, that center to quarterback exchange can be pretty tough when you got somebody new and 1 week of practice ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, that's something that takes a long time to work in simpatico with. But yeah, that mistake will cost him a little bit.
Well, one of the skills competition was kicking. We'll see what the Red All-Stars want to do here on 4th down, and the ball actually at the 11-yard line. They bring Johnson out of the ball game. And in comes Alec Blank from Munising. And looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down and goal from the 11-yard line. Sure enough, they're going to keep everybody in tight. Now split out a receiver either side here for the Red All-Stars. Big play momentum-wise here for both these clubs. And it looked like there was movement on the line, not called. Blank had his receiver slip and fall. It was covered well there by the defender, Josh Plant out of Norway. And so a good drive here by the Red All-Stars winds up with nothing. We stay scoreless here in the early going.
I like the call being aggressive. I mean, you had an unfortunate thing where the receiver slipped and didn't make the connection there, but I like the call of going for it.
So Ree Holly was there, and they just couldn't connect it. Now for the Black All-Stars, got to get some ball movement here, Jer.
Yeah, the 3 and out, they didn't get a lot going. Wonder what they got up their sleeves this time.
So Sawyer Perpich will run the offense here, quarterback out of Kingsford. And a little bit of a delay getting the play in. Now finally they get it in from the far sideline. 11th annual, hard to believe.
Coach Olson was the guest speaker during last night's banquet. He gave a tremendous speech to everybody.
I would hire Jeff Olson to give a speech at anything I was in charge of. Anything. Don't care if it was a cookie sale. He's one of those guys. Pitch, right side, good cutback on the play here, and the Black All-Stars in business as moving up ahead with the football, Logan Carroll out of Escanaba.
You said you wanted to move the ball. First play, first down, that's how you do it.
Well, and it's interesting, you know, you got Logan Carroll out of Escanaba on one side, and then you got Scott Wonder on the other side, both out of the backfield here. This could be a fun little thing for the fans of the Escanaba Eskimos.
Yeah, as you said earlier, those matchups, that's going to be the fun thing throughout the whole game.
You know, and you don't know from one year to the next, you know, when it's north, south, east, west, but when you have a coach's draw or draft like they did back in March, much more balanced, I would think, as once again they give on the inside. Not much there this time, however. As again, the defense that time for the red team really tightened it down, second down and long. So Logan Carroll with 11 yards on the first one, not much there. A very, very sticky afternoon, very humid, not nearly as warm up here in the press box as it seemed earlier, but thankfully we're not playing this football game.
Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of personnel coming in and out.
Yep, stay hydrated, folks.
Perpich under center. And they give inside to the up man this time, and the Red All-Stars, boy, you don't read that one any better than that.
Yeah, that didn't fool him.
In the inside handoff that time, Braden Tomes from Gogitic. Couldn't get anything going, and once again, the black team All-Stars looking at a third down and long.
That's another great thing about this game, too, is you get to see some representation from schools that you maybe don't hear that much about, like Gogivic.
Well, folks in this part of the UP are going to learn a lot about the Gogebic Range Miners with the restructuring of the Mid-Penn and the West Pack. But that's be something that we'll talk about when we get into the fall. Right now, we're just loving life and watching our UP All-Stars here tonight. Dropping straight back is Perpich. Now his protection breaks down. He tries to get free, does for a small gain, maybe about 6. And at this point of the field, be surprised if the Black All-Stars didn't kick this one away.
Yeah, it's better, of course, than the 3 and out, but still not the solid drives you want to start building.
Well, we mentioned earlier Kevin Grundy is here. He's coaching from Wausau East. In the initial UP All-Star football games of the 1940s and 1950s, for the first year of it, UP coaches coached the UP All-Stars. And then after that, the MHSAA declared that the UP teams couldn't be coached by Michigan coaches. And the MHSAA basically told the UP coaches, if you try and coach in this game, there's going to be some penalties you're going to have to pay. But the UP All-Star football game lived another 5 or 6 years after that. They brought in coaches from Wisconsin, and they coached these UP All-Star kids from 1947 until that initial was disbanded in 1951. So there we go, 0-0 in exchange of the football. We'll take a break. All-Star football game is on the way next, right after this on TV6. Well, there was actually a penalty against the Black All-Stars, so they're going to re-kick, and this one sails almost all the way up to us here inside the Superior Dome. So the Red All-Stars get another crack at it. To continue that story here about the original All-Star game, so they brought in coaches from Wisconsin from 1947 or right around in there to 1951 when the game, for some reason, was discontinued. One of those coaches back in the day, and maybe this name will ring a bell with you, Jerry, was Frosty Frazaka.
Not a name I'm familiar with.
Coached at Marquette University and eventually wound up coaching right here at Memorial Field at Northern Michigan University.
Excellent.
So there's always a tie-in one way, shape, or form, isn't there?
Deep
Red All-Stars with their second crack at it, and this time the football, Alec Blank is controlling things from Munising, got it to the outside, getting ripped down as Foster Miller from Lance just couldn't solve the defense on the far side.
Very close. Good play by both athletes. You know, that's what you're going to see the whole game.
So they pitched it outside, and getting there defensively for the black team, Brayton Tomes out of Gogebic.
Good stop.
Great coverage there, and a loss actually of a half a yard on the play. Yeah, when they initiated this game back in 2008, the history had kind of been lost until Todd Goldbeck told me he was actually researching this at the Peter White Public Library in Marquette, and a gentleman tapped him on the shoulder and said, "What do you want to know?" Buck Nystrom, who actually played in one of those original games in 1951. Dropping back is Blank, and now he cuts forward, got a block. Blank, the Munising Mustang to the 22-yard line.
Nice finish on that run, too. He gave a little push.
And I got to take another look at this. That may have actually been a designed quarterback draw. He looked back, sure enough, just tucked it under, and away he went. And the Black All-Star defense caught a little bit flat-footed on that. They finally track him down on the far sideline. And once again, getting there, Brayton Tomes from linebacker position out of Gogebic.
So far, another good drive. Let's see if they can actually punch it in this time.
So Alec Blank and Darren Johnson splitting time at the quarterback position here for the Red All-Stars. Single receiver either side here for the red team. Joseph Boyk out of Pickford, the inside receiver of John Lemove. A couple of Pickford players there. They pitch left side. Not a lot of room. Once again, 22 Foster Miller on a launch. The Purple Hornet is to the far sideline, and we've got a stop here as they'll shut the clock down with 6:58 to go.
Flag on that play.
And a holding. No wonder he was so open. Going to bring this one all the way back. Yeah, history of this game is something that if you have your annual and the program here looks like it's about twice the size of the Marquette Escanaba phone book. And there's great stories about the history of this game, and there's great player profiles in here.
Yeah, you mentioned Buck Nystrom. That's a name that's pretty well known throughout this area.
Yeah, the original All-Star games, 1946 to 1951, were North versus South, and some very competitive games back in the day. But great greet. It's also on the XL Sports website. So just Google UP All-Star football game, and that information will be there. So holding is a big one. This first down at 20 here for the Red All-Stars. And it is Alec Blank out of the shotgun this time here. The single man in the backfield with him. Blank rolls, looks, overshot his man here on the near sideline. And he was looking there for Connor Ortman out of Norway. And I watched Connor Ortman against Nagani a couple of years ago down at Ronberg Stadium. He was the target in that ball game. Nagani actually wound up winning that one, but this kid had about 15 catches by my memory in that one. He was all over, and that was as a junior.
Well, that's why you see him here today as an all-star.
So second down and long, Red All-Stars. I'd be surprised here, Jerry, if they didn't try and get at least by half of this back or so and put themselves in a position to get at least closer to the uprights, if not a little bit closer to making that decision, what they need to do on 3rd and 4th down. Blank's going to roll. He's going to look, and it's a down-go pattern here to the near sideline. Had his man. That was Ortman out of the backfield. And good coverage by the Black All-Stars. As I believe that was Riley from North Central getting back in, or no, that would be Donald D'Onofrio getting back in coverage from Ishpeming.
Yeah, it was a nice breakup. That ball was right where it needed to be, just a good D getting in the way.
So now 3rd down and 20. Clock stops on the incompletion here on a very, very warm, muggy afternoon here in the UP. Forecasted high around 90 this afternoon.
And high humidity, that's the deal.
Well, it was just, Jerry and I were talking before we went hot with the broadcast here. That was about 2 years ago. I remember this, sitting up here with Ethan, and it was a hot day not unlike this, and it stormed, and it stormed. And what happened was it got hot again outside, and the temperature up here went up around 15 degrees. And speaking of heating it up, the Black All-Stars ripping through on this. Leading the way, Mike Hall out of Bark River Harris, and Blank with nowhere to go with the football, and that brings up 4th down and forever.
Yeah, another look at that. That D-line just too tenacious, coming straight through. Not a whole lot he could do there except kind of tuck that. And
Bryce Hornick there from Stevenson as well. And that was just an all-out go-get-'em approach there by the Black defense. And we stay scoreless in what has been a very oddly entertaining scoreless game.
Yeah, it has. That is strange. There is no score, but good play.
Seen some good play, not a whole lot of mistakes. And the red team looks to line up like they might go for it and then maybe drop somebody back, as Johnson and Blank are in the backfield. And now Darren Johnson with the football. He's going to quick kick it, popped it straight up. Big advantage here for the Black All-Stars. They got to get as far away from it as they can. It's going to take a little bit of a roll to the 21-yard line. Johnson had a lot of traffic in front of him, Jerry, and he had no choice but to pop that one up or it might get blocked.
Yeah, that ended up being a good decision. I guess it puts the Black team at the 20.
Well, both teams moving the football. Not a whole lot of fireworks just yet here as we're down to 5:22 to go here in this opening quarter. Superior Dome in Marquette. And we welcome you in here live online and our tape delay telecast here on TV6. That's Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans. Glad you could join us here in our TV6 crew. Sweating along with you on this very warm summer afternoon. And so the Black team, once again, not seeing a whole lot of field position success as they launch it here to the near sideline. Man open, grabbed at the 48.
What a catch.
High in the air. And bringing it down is big 93, Jake Witt. Interesting story. Played his high school ball at Ontonagon, but goes to school at Ewan Trout Creek. The Panther program actually combining with the Gladiators, I believe 2 years ago. And the big fella on the Black squad, Jake Witt, he's got some size, and he gives the Black team field position at the 45-yard line. And look at the size on this kid.
He pulled a Megatron. He just went up and got that ball.
Single receiver either side. As Severns is back in from Norway to run the offense here for the Black All-Stars. I formation behind him, and they give inside, and just not much there as Logan Carroll out of Escanaba couldn't get anything going. Good penetration by the red team.
Such back and forth here. You see one tremendous play, big gain of yards, and then the defense responds and says, no more of that.
Second down loss on the play, actually. But again, you sense that competitiveness out there. In a lot of all-star games, it's, you watch like the NBA all-star game, it's like first to 200 is going to win. And the NFL all-star game and even blue-gray games and stuff like that, these kids don't want to get hurt, don't get me wrong, but you don't see the full level of play like we're getting shown here this afternoon.
No, they're going all out here.
Wade Kreshak from Superior Central, top of the screen. That's Witt down here at the bottom of the screen out of Ontonagon. And they call it out, and they give second man through to the pile. Here's Carroll once again. Got around the corner, and that's about it. And he got planted right there after a gain of about a yard.
That was a monster hit. Oh, man. And he's pumped up,
Mason Gustafson, the Saint from St. Ignace, appears to be on the tackle here.
They call him Iggy. Do you know why? Well, he's from St. Ignace.
Well, yeah, that certainly helps. And bam. And that is a stick on the far sideline. Keeps the clock rolling here with 3:40 to go. 3rd down and 11 here for the Black All-Stars. First time they've been in red territory.
Just after we got done talking about the competitiveness, if we see a big hit like that.
Well, you're going to see. But, you know, you love games like this because they're clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once again, it's Witt out here to the left-hand side. Watch him. Big target here on 3rd down and 9 from the 44-yard line. And once again, they're going to drop back. And this time a pitch right side. I'm a little surprised. Logan Carroll, the ball carrier, maybe setting something up here for 4th down, as we've seen Logan Carroll with quite a few carries, the former Eskimo.
Yeah, they got enough there to make it manageable if they do decide to go for it.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 4. And this is one of these opportunities for the offense here, Jerry, where you do that quick count, try and get them to jump offside.
Absolutely. Watch the ball. Every coach has yelled that many, many times.
Well, as a former lineman yourself, you know that better than anybody.
Absolutely.
So 4th down, and obviously Al Stenberg, the head coach out of Bark River Harris, already knows where he's going because the play is in pretty quickly. I formation here behind the quarterback, George Severance, out of Newberry. Calls it out, and they're going to run the play. It's Severance looking, and it goes to Witt, and he's going to be open there. Great coverage by the Red All-Star team is getting back in coverage. Neil Tomasowski out of West Iron County. Chase Kresge also there from Kingsford. Good coverage on the big man. Obvious that they knew where they were going, that double coverage right there.
Yeah, they tried it once. Why not try it again?
We are scoreless, and we are back with a red team possession in a moment here on TV6. The red and the black All-Stars so far standing toe-to-toe here with each other in this opening quarter. Jerry Tudor's on my side. Mark Evans, glad you could join us here. And once again, it's Darren Johnson to run the offense here for the Red All-Stars. A little pump fake, and they've got a man open here at the 30. Got it near sideline, and getting dragged down after the catch is Jeff Reholly out of Newberry. And a penalty flag on the play as well.
Yeah, that helmet got kind of ripped off at the end. What a huge play that was. He had all day to throw that ball.
I was about to say the line play awesome there for the Red All-Stars as Reholly made the catch here, and Johnson just stood his ground. A little pump fake, bought him some time. But look at the coverage. Here it comes for the Black All-Stars, just a bit out. He got him on the far shoulder, and here comes the face mask penalty right there as they drag him down. Now that's certainly not deliberate, as the flag obviously going to be thrown on the black team there from Hayden Haslow out of Escanaba. But, you know, you see a play like that in Haslow, you could tell, oh, man, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Shake hands and away you go.
Yeah, no ill will there.
But it sets the red team up in business. Split left receivers, 2 of them. I formation here for Darren Johnson, who again can do it with his arm and with his leg. The Gladstone Brave takes it. Inside handoff, and there's just not much there for the Red All-Stars. Jace Brockhagen out of West Iron County. And boy, what a year the Wycons had.
Indeed.
You know, they lost a heartbreaker here in this building that would have sent them to the state finals. And just a great year for West Iron County and head coach Mike Baruti, who was also represented as the head coach of the Red All-Stars here in this game. It's interesting, he'd been asked in the past to do it, but you gotta remember, a lot of these guys, they coach, but they work.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so this is a full week of vacation some of these guys have to take, and Mike Baruti's one of them. Had a chance to speak with him earlier this week and said, yeah, I wanted to do it, and finally everything kind of lined up that he was going to be able to do it, as the toss goes to the right side here to Connor Bordolini out of Forest Park. And talk about a game and a year. Connor Bordolini, Pete Ropiak, and the Trojans in that D2 8-man championship game, absolutely dismantling Portland St. Patrick. There was a point in that ball game where Connor Bordolini had, I believe, 148 yards rushing. St. Patrick had 8.
Yeah, I was running sideline camera on that game, and it was not pretty.
Well, if you live in the Crystal Falls district, it was the most gorgeous thing you ever saw.
That's correct. I mean, it was
one of the more dominant state championship games we see. But first, yeah, that was one of those, wow, can they play football in the UP games? Johnson back. Here comes coverage, and Johnson gets spun down. Getting shot out of a cannon is Bailey Ribbich out of Gogibic. And he makes a huge play for the Black defense, and we stay scoreless here as we head down towards the end of the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. He came in uncontested.
Said he was shot out of a howitzer on that one, and Johnson, as elusive as he is, somehow couldn't get away. And as you see our clock winding down here at the end of the quarter, we'll see if the red team wants to get a play away on 4th down, or if they want to take their time and hit the sideline, which is what they do. Boy, this has been entertaining. I know there's no score, but the All-Star game for 2018 is scoreless after 1. We're back in a moment here on TV6. Back in the Superior Dome in Marquette on campus at Northern Michigan University alongside Jerry Tudor and our TV6 crew. Mark Evans, you've joined us just in time for 4th and 16 for the Red All-Stars, and Darren Johnson, their quarterback out of Gladstone, has the football. Rushes on, near corner of the end zone, up, touchdown, Red All-Stars, skying Jeff Riali out of Newberry. And our first score of the game is wearing red.
Excellent leaping catch. Going forward on 4th, another gutsy call. Sure did pay off.
And you're seeing real quick why some of these kids are all-stars. Great coverage. The Black team, you can't get there any better than that. And Riali right there, up, 1, 2, down, and completes the catch. And the extra point try is next here for the Red All-Stars. And it'll be, I believe this is Robarge, yep. Zach Robarge out of Forest Park. They're going to tack on the extra point here. It is back, it's on the tee, blasted through, off the inside of the upright and through. Oh, bank shot never hurt anybody, and what a drive and what a completion play there for the Red.
Yep, we're seeing good stuff out of them. They put together a few long drives. This one they were able to punch it in, get on the board first.
Well, again, as in any football game, all-star or otherwise, field position really key, and the Red, for the most part, has had the better of it, finally able to take advantage of it here at the Superior Dome. 11th incarnation, as you see some of the crowd here on tap. Good crowd for this one here, and they're still kind of filtering in, as you see. And it's so fun because you come to this game and you see the colors, Jerry, of every program in the UP. And the coaches really do a nice job with this draft, too, because there are very few programs not represented here in the Upper Peninsula in this ball game.
Yeah, they do.
Very few.
They do an excellent job of that, making sure everybody, most teams, get their representation.
And I dare say, actually, to a degree, it's cooler in here today than it is outside today.
Yeah, there's actually
maybe a bit.
There's actually a heat advisory going on out there.
Yeah,
it's cooking.
But again, this is just a great way for a lot of these athletes to kind of say goodbye to the game of football. Not very many of these guys going to the next level at all. And as you may have heard in our pregame, and we tipped the hat to several of them joining some of the military academies and going into basic training as the up man takes it to the 33-yard line. For the Black All-Stars, Wade Kreshak out of Superior Central with the play on this. There are 4 or 5 young men that were mentioned joining the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Army. We certainly thank you, young men, for your upcoming service to our country. And it's interesting. I'm so far removed from being a 17, 18-year-old kid that you kind of forget those decisions that you have to make at a very young age, be it going to college, going to the military, going into the workforce, or what have you. But it's kind of a chance for these guys this game is to put all that behind you and just come out and play football, have fun one more time.
Yeah, during the banquet last night, there was a lot of talk from all the coaches about not just what tremendous athletes these young men were, but what outstanding young men they were.
So Severns will take over the offense once again out of Newberry, and that was ugly from the start. And really one of the very precious few penalties we've had, mental mistake. We've seen a couple of holdings. We've seen a face mask or two. Those are more play penalties. This is the first real mental problem we've seen.
Yeah, well, they've had a full week of practice, and while that's not a super long time, it should be enough to jog their memory. I mean, these kids have been playing football for a long time.
All right, so I'm going to pose you a question after this play here. We talked about this in pregame, but I was curious what your thoughts are. As Witt is split out to the left side, they've got a slot receiver on the right to the Black All-Stars. Severns under center once again, looking for Witt. He makes his cut, and that's almost picked off. Chase Kresge out of Kingsford got there in a hurry and closed the window. 2nd down and 15, and another flag here. And this looks like it's in the area of holding against the Black All-Stars. I presented a question to Jerry before we went live with the telecast here. All-Star football game. Some people look at this as the absolute conclusion of the 2017 football season. Or do you look at this as the kickoff of the 2018 high school football season?
It's an excellent question, and I think there's a case for both. For many of the seniors, of course, who will not go on to play any further football, for them it would basically be the end. But if you're just a fan of high school football in this area, you can make a strong case for this being the start, because we're not that far away from two-a-days.
See, I firmly believe this is the unofficial kickoff of the high school football season, because, you know, you get excellent basketball, both boys and girls, then you get into the spring sports, and this kind of rejuvenates football on the brain, if you will, as a good cutback there for the Black All-Stars is up head Logan Carroll out of Escanaba on the play here for the black team. So to me, it kind of sets the table, like you said, because we're July 1 tomorrow, which I can't believe, and then 31 days, and then we're staring down the barrel of two-a-days.
Well, I think you just said something. I do believe football on the brain is an actual medical condition.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When they asked me to be a part of this telecast once again, I'm like, are you kidding me? To sit inside and be a part of a football game? I mean, I'm the guy that's logged on to ESPN Classic all the time just because they're showing games in the 70s and 80s because I just want to get my football fix, and this is a good one. Black All-Stars on 2nd down and long, and dancing out of trouble for a moment is Severns, but the black defense crashes in on him in a real hurry. That ball may have popped out of there for a moment, but Severns is right there on top of it. But again, we talked about field position for the red team, and this is just a nightmare right here for the Black All-Stars, giving up the touchdown. Now it's going to be officially 2nd down, 3rd down, and about 25 after that loss.
Yeah, they're going to need a huge play to get this drive back on track.
Clock stays in motion, and if you're just joining us again, this is a little bit different format from what we're used to in the MHSAA. 15-minute quarters as compared to the 12. And I like that because it gives these guys that college feel, and they're playing at a college facility.
Well, especially the ones that are going to go on to play at Tech or Northern or Ferris State.
Finlandia, or wherever it is they're going, so they get a little bit of that college feel. And so on 3rd down and forever, Severns back, and he's got his man Witt here along the near sideline, picked off beautifully and dropped down at the 45-yard line. Neil Tomasoski once again out of West Iron County. The former Wycons got the Red All-Stars in business again.
It was a great read.
It's basically a punt on 3rd down more than anything else. Just go deep with it and see if your guy can go up and get it. And when you got a guy like Jake Witt and the size that he has, he certainly gives you the opportunity every time. But, boy, just playing center field beautifully. Tomasoski there, the former Wycon, pulls it down.
The Black All-Stars had to just throw it deep. I mean, they didn't have a lot going in the run game, and they were really backed up.
Like I said, that's basically a glorified punt on 3rd down, but it does give the Red All-Stars good field position once again inside the Black All-Star territories. You saw Jeff Olson right there a moment ago, the head coach of the Ishpeming Hematites, assisting there in his 6th time around. I asked him this week, I said, what keeps you coming back? And he kind of gave me that, you got to be kidding me look. He goes, he gets to be around players and gets to be around football. As on the far sideline, Scout Wonder off the reception out of the backfield.
His speech last night basically focused on how football is such a special game and how big a role it's played throughout his life.
Well, the times they are changing with declining enrollments and all that other good stuff here across Upper Michigan. We posed that question during our high school broadcasts over the couple of years. You know, what's football going to look like in 10 years? What's it going to look like in 15 years?
Several of the coaches last night actually said that football is under attack.
No, there's legitimate reasons why that may be, as the inside handoff goes for the Red All-Stars. And that quick hitter was all that they needed to get the 1st down. That Brockhagen on the carry? Sure enough, number 20 out of West Iron County.
Well, Coach Olson did counter that claim that football is under attack by saying that the game has never been safer from his standpoint.
Oh, from the day I played? Basically strap a pillow on your head and go play? All right, maybe I'm not quite that old.
Did you play with leather helmets?
No, not quite that. George Clooney I ate. But the game is changing, and it's going to be very interesting to see the developments to go with that. But today here in 2018, we have one heck of an all-star game going underway. As spinning and trying to get out of harm's way. And again, another nice move there from Wonder out of Escanaba. And he was just a miracle to only lose 5 on that play as he got caught well in the backfield. Great pursuit by the Black All-Star team again.
He nearly made 11 guys miss.
That's one of those you run 30 yards to lose 5. But again, the Red All-Stars, as you see with that 7-0 lead, scoring just a couple of moments ago. On that was about a 19-yard touchdown toss from Darren Johnson as he hit Reholly out of Newberry on the touchdown play. Single receiver either side. And Alec Blank again from Munising, the quarterback, calls it out, drops back. Good movement downfield. Instead, they go across the center of the field to hit the tight end. And rolling for a first down for the Red All-Stars, Cooper Twardzik from the Calumet Copper King program. Watched him over the last couple of years in the games against Negaunee.
It was really the first.
He's a big kid.
It's really the first pass over the middle, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. And that's really the first time they've used any of the big guys here for the Red All-Stars. Is Twardzik with a nice catch coming off the end position on the right side. And he just looked for the delay, and there's Blank looking, waiting. Twardzik hits the big man right in the chest. And how'd you like to see that coming at you?
Yeah, you get out of the way of that.
Well, not if you're an all-star.
There you go.
As getting in there, Hayden Haslow out of Escanaba to make the tackle from the defensive secondary. Robbie Williams from Negaunee split out to the left-hand side. Also split out is Josh Grassel out of Escanaba. And they give second man through the pile. Not much there, as on the give for the Red All-Stars there is Foster Miller out of Lance. But it is good for a first down. And they will put the clock back in motion here as the Red All-Stars with the lead and already working their way. And I heard the skills competition numbers here. They're in field goal range.
Yeah.
Not that they are anxious to try and kick one from here, mind you, as Blank will call it out here for the Red All-Stars. Pitch. Left side and waiting for something to open, and Foster Miller, the Lance Purple Hornet, again on the carry. Not much there. Good pursuit. They strung it out nicely.
Yeah, towards the end of that run, there was a little hole, but just not big enough.
And I've always wondered that at every level of football, ball on the left hash mark, and you pitch short side of the field because you're adding a defender with the sideline. But that's why these guys coach and why you and I sit up here and speculate.
I would agree with that. I'd like more room to run.
Williams split out to the top of your screen. Gressel out of Escanaba down low, and shotgun formation now for the Red All-Stars on second down and about 7. Blank is going to call his own number. Got away from 1, spins down for a gain of about 4, and brings up an interesting play call because in an all-star game like this, you know that they've got something, somewhere, one special little play that only they know.
Oh, I would think so.
This probably isn't the time for it. But we'll see what happens on third down and short.
3rd and 4, ball on 16.
So again, that's Robbie Williams, that gold helmet split out to the top. Grassel here on the near sideline, and this time Blank's going to climb in under center with an I formation behind him on third down and mid-range. He'll keep it. Rolls, looks, steps up, got away. Nice move to the 5, big hit at the 2, and that's where he'll line it up. First and goal for the Red All-Stars.
Excellent run.
It's a gutsy call. Blank's got some speed, but he's also going down in some heavy lumber down there with some big defenders on the Black All-Star team.
Yeah, that was a tough hit at the end here.
And again, a good play fake, and that opened things up in the middle. Really, I don't believe there was ever a desire that he was ever going to throw that football, as getting over for the black team, Preston Strong out of Kingsford, to make that big hit. So now it's 1st and goal. And the Red All-Stars with, as you see clock spinning, we're going to get down to about 7 minutes before this one's underway. 1st down and officially 3. And Johnson hit Reholly. Gladstone to Newberry on the first touchdown for the red team, and now it is Alec Blank's turn to run the offense. And he's going to call his own number to the line, swarmed under, and he may have got a half a yard, but boy, a wall of black jerseys getting in his way. Bryce Hornick out of Stevenson, one of the guys in on the tackle.
Yeah, that was a nice wall of black jerseys. Tough to run through that.
So a quick moving first half here. Quite honestly, we've seen a lot of play on the ground, a lot of completions. And now not a whole lot of penalties, and guys staying in ground, or in bounds rather. And they're going to officially give him a gain of a yard.
That was a tough earned yard.
And I want to thank Todd Goldbeck and the UP All-Star football people for putting white numbers on the jerseys this year instead of black jerseys with red numbers and red numbers with black jerseys. Makes our job a little bit easier. Blank, pitch, right side, and getting swarmed under once again is Ortman. Make that Wonder. And Scout Wonder actually maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's really about it.
Yeah, another good stand by the Black All-Stars.
Well, it was 3rd down and long when they scored the last time. And the Red All-Stars wasting no time to the line of scrimmage. Joseph Boyk out of Pickford is the receiver to the top of your screen. And the Red All-Stars moved, and that is a double-edged sword right there. Now you got a little bit more room to maneuver the offense before you get to the end zone. It's not quite as compact in there for the offense, but that's, again, one of those rare penalties that we've seen here in this ballgame. Discipline's been great.
I would like a little bit more room. It can get pretty tough at 5 and under to get in there.
And so the play is in from the sideline. You see Connor Ortman from Norway coming in, along with the quarterback Blank from Munising. So 3rd down and 9 now as the Red All-Stars moving the ball nicely. Of course, they had the interception, put them at the 45-yard line. And a late addition to the lineup is David Delary, the former Westwood Patriot, checks into the football game. I guess once a Patriot, always a Patriot, though, right, Jerry?
Sure.
Single receiver either side. Blank goes out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 9, and he bobbles the football, picks it up, and a little hop pass to the near side. That's Twardzik out of Calumet. Bang, down to about the 2, and now it's decision time for the Red All-Stars, and a nice job by Blank, not only to get free, but for Twardzik to get open, and they just about made that one work. It's 4th and goal from the 2.
And this was the best outcome you could hope for of a broken play like that. Excellent heads-up play by the whole team.
And a nice downfield block by Boyk out of Pickford, and I say that because very easy to hold in a situation like that, and he didn't do it. So a timeout's for the officials real quick here. Now a timeout's going to be called by the Red All-Stars. Your 4th down play. When we come back, Red up 7-0 here in the Dome in Marquette. You take a look at some of the crowd here at the UP All-Star football game. Superior Dome in Marquette. We're streaming live this Saturday afternoon at UpperMichiganSource.com. Tape delay broadcast on this Sunday afternoon if you're joining us then here on TV6. That's Jerry Tudor. Mark Evans, glad you could join us here. Big play for the Red All-Stars. It is 4th down and 2. They lead 7-0 as you see. Spread the offense for Darren Johnson, who checks into the ball game now, and the black team, I believe, has a problem with that. Now you see a huge dose of Alec Blank at quarterback, the former Mustang, and now all of a sudden here comes Darren Johnson, who orchestrated the first touchdown drive, and it's an offside call actually against the black. Nominal here, Jerry. That's what, about a 1.5 foot?
Yeah, I guess if you're the red team, you'll take whatever you can get.
When you're in this tight here. But Darren Johnson, we said, has a bum wheel. He's got a bad ankle. And that was a concern coming into this weekend here. Hasn't really shown any ill effects of that, but we've also really not seen him run a lot since the opening part of the ball game.
Yeah, there was a run very early, but that was it.
Reholly, he's got the touchdown. He split to the top of your screen. Ortman from Norway down here to the bottom. And here is Johnson doing what he does, trying to run option and just trying to outrun everybody. Trying to get to the sticks. He won't make it. He loses a yard, and what a stand by the black team All-Stars. Tracking him down, my goodness. Preston Strong for the black defense. My goodness, did he get there in a hurry.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to track down, but he did it. Nicely done. Good stand by the black All-Stars.
And Johnson, he's not showing any ill effects on the ankle. And I believe I'm corrected. That is Bryce Hornick, who got there from the defensive position from Stevenson. And again, difficult to tell. I know the helmets of almost every team in the UP, but this is a potpourri of helmet decals. And sometimes numbers flash by so fast. But now if you're the black offense, you're deep in a hole, your own 3-yard line. Great defensive stand, but what do you do from here? Timeout going to be called here by the Black All-Stars, which is perfect for us. We'll take a break, 7-0 red, but a big stand from the black team. Back to Marquette in a moment here on TV6. Well, after the timeout, it'll be Black All-Star football. As again, some of the crowd enjoying this one here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. Black All-Stars with the football. Deep in their own territory now on first down. And they give inside. Great cut, great move. First down. As up ahead, Logan Carroll out of Escanaba, and he did that all last fall, didn't he?
Yeah, you have a great chance to see a lot of these players too with your role for the Negaunee Miners, correct?
Oh yeah. Well, not Escanaba so much. We do see them in a scrimmage at the beginning of the year, but again, this is just an inside give, and you got to let your playmakers make their plays. And actually, that was almost pretty much a touchdown-saving tackle, is getting over there Aaron Corkin out of Ishpeming to make the play for the Red All-Star team.
Yeah, he had a lot of green in front of him.
So yeah, I'm fortunate enough to see quite a bit of these guys, but you know, it's like with the new revamp of the conferences next year, I've never ever in my life seen Houghton play football. We'll get that chance. Lance, etc., and Hancock, and the Go-Gibbick range Miners. That'll be interesting when the Miners play the Miners for the first time ever. As again, it's Logan Carroll with the football, and this time it's a gain of about 3 on the play. No, like we said, Jerry and I were talking a little bit ago, and for me, this is more the kickoff of the football season for high school football. Yeah, these guys are saying farewell, but it puts football on the brain, like we said.
Yeah, it does. And then it kind of comes into this thing where you're like, oh, college football's not that far off. Pro football's not that far off.
Well, we're already watching CFL.
Oh, yeah, CFL, let's not forget.
I watched, what was that, Hamilton and who were they playing last night? Winnipeg.
Nice. Let's not forget our neighbors to the north.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's different, but it's football. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Mike Hall, Bark River Harris. He is split out here to the right-hand side. And the Black All-Stars will give once again Logan Carroll. Moving up ahead, and I stand corrected. That was actually Ethan Burke out of Westwood that was split out to the right side, 14 out of 44. I want to make sure I get that right. As the Black All-Stars, Jerry, kind of keeping it on the fundamental side of things, which makes sense deep in their own territory.
Yeah, not taking too many risks just yet. Maybe you save that for when you get to around midfield.
And it's not a contest, but I believe I'm on bottle of water number 4. You're on 3, I think, right now?
Yeah.
It's as we mentioned, you're going to see a lot of personnel in and out in this ball game because it is a very, very warm day here. Heat advisories, as Jerry mentioned, across the UP. Not so bad in here. I wouldn't want to play this game outdoors today, certainly. As it'll be 3rd down and 6 here for the Black All-Stars. As again, Burke from Westwood split out to the right-hand side and getting buried and going nowhere. Again is George Severns. As getting there for the red team in a hurry was Joe Rietveld out of Kingsford. Clock will go, well, now they're going to stop the clock, and a timeout for the red team as they want the ball back with some time on the clock.
Yes, they do. Most likely you're going to see a punt here, so you'll get the ball with 2 minutes. You put the 2-minute drill into effect and try to punch it in one last time before the half.
So just the one score as you see, and that's what opened up the second quarter. Jeff Reholly, a 19-yard catch from quarterback Darren Johnson. So it's a Gladstone to Newberry connection, and that is where we stand here on this Saturday afternoon in Marquette. 11th installment of this UP All-Star football game, and I do want to take a moment and acknowledge someone no longer with us who very, very instrumental in the inception of this game. Very dear friend of the UP All-Star football game. Very dear friend of TV6, obviously, with the passing of Bill Blom. who was the one who approached me back in 2008, asked would I be interested to be involved in this. Certainly I said I would. I have to admit, back 11 years ago, wondering how big could this actually get, how many years could this possibly go, and Bloomer, you're definitely missed, and but his fingerprints are all over this football game.
Absolutely. In the program, there's a nice page dedicated to Bloomer, as we all knew him. He loved sports, and he certainly loved the UP and all of these athletes.
So back to kick. The Black All-Stars. Spencer Huseby from Gladstone to put a toe into this one. This should give the Red All-Stars pretty good field position, as it's a low kick that just end over ends and out of bounds at about the 39, maybe the 40-yard line. And the red team, Chase Kresge from Kingsford, kind of shrugging his shoulders. He really wanted a crack at that one, as he was back with Brevard out of Menominee. But boy, you want field position in an All-Star game, you got it, as you see the bobble of the kick, and this just never really got going from the start.
But good news for the Red All-Stars. Around the 40-yard line with 2:06 left to go. That's a pretty good situation.
So they're going to bring both teams to their respective sidelines here. So the black team takes a timeout as they want to get things set defensively. This has been a fun little first half. I know we've only got the first touchdown, but man, we've seen some great play.
Yeah, a lot of talent on both sides, of course. This being an all-star game, that's what you'd expect. And it's been fun to watch. It really has. As you said, just one score, but some tremendous plays, great athleticism.
Well, and our one score certainly wasn't a fluke.
Oh, no,
that
not
was
at
a pretty play. Hopefully we get a chance to take a look at that as we head into halftime here at the Superior Dome. And you can see some of the body language right there of some of the players here. They're not hands on hips because they're disappointed. They're hands on hips because it is a warm one here today, my friend.
Yeah, you mentioned not it being cooler here than outside. You can see that garage door open over there, and the sun just cooking outside. It's got to be super hot out there. And the humidity, that's not helping anything.
As you get a look at it right there, I mean, that's so hazy you can hardly see the trees on the outside of the parking lot. But I keep thinking, what would happen if that door wasn't open right now?
I think the dome would be even hotter.
Hey, that's one of the if that's the only drawback we've got for being a part of this game, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
there's always more bottles of water.
That's right.
So the Red All-Stars leading 7-0. Sizing things up here, and they've got time here. They've been able to move the football efficiently. They got their last drive down to the 3-yard line before Darren Johnson got chased out of bounds here, and they didn't get into the end zone. And it'll be Johnson out of the shotgun here with a single receiver either side here for the Red All-Stars. Ortman in the near side, he's a big target out of Norway. Nice job by Johnson to drag that in. Good block, and Johnson skips up, got away from one, and he is to the far sideline, and up the field he goes, and a flag flies in. That'll be holding against the red team, and we'll bring it back about 10 yards. That's one of the problems with a scrambling quarterback like that. Sometimes you just can't hold your defender off without committing the foul.
Yeah, the longer that scramble is, the more things kind of break down from the lineman's standpoint of view, and they have to do some things that aren't exactly by the rule book to keep their quarterback or whoever's scrambling safe.
So we work our way towards halftime here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. That's Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, TV6. We're proud to be a part of this 11th annual event, as the red team leads 7-0, but now it is first and about 20, as they've moved it back to just inside black territory, right there on that faded Wildcat emblem. Don't worry, Wildcat fans, they'll be repainting the turf after they're done with this. Johnson back, plenty of time, and that is blocked and knocked out of his hands. They're going to call that a fumble, and it'll be black football inside red territory, and Johnson took a pop. And Johnson is shaken up. There was a lot of traffic in front of him, and you absolutely hate to see that. Darren Johnson, touchdown pass to open this quarter, and they're going to call that. Looked like a forward pass. The official right there on top of it's going to say that it's a fumble. And Darren Johnson, who was already working with some tenderness in the leg, is now down for the Red All-Star team.
Staff taking a look at him. You really hope he's okay. He was writhing around a little bit there right after he went down.
So the folks from UP Rehab Services out to take a look at Darren Johnson, and it looks like they're looking at that ankle again. And he had a tender ankle coming in. We were down for the first day of practice on this past Monday for some radio coverage earlier this week, and Johnson was in and out of the ice pack, and not putting a whole lot of weight on that leg. Darren Johnson with such an amazing career for the Gladstone Braves, and able to put a little bit of weight on that. So that might put the offense in the hands of Alec Blank out of Munising the rest of the way out.
Being so close to the half, they'll have a good chance to take a look at it and make sure.
Well, you just
or evaluate.
You just hope that it's nothing that's going to be affecting him far down the road.
Absolutely.
And some weight being put on, which is always a good sign. But after the turnover here, that gives the Black All-Stars offense football inside of red territory, so a big chain of events here.
Yeah, what turned out to be good field position and plenty of clock left for the Red All-Stars is now flipped. And Black All-Stars near midfield, they're in good shape.
So they will line it up here. And out of the shotgun go the Black All-Stars, trailing 7-0 here as we head towards halftime. And they drop back over the middle. Great catch. Up in the air goes Ryan Arndt from Bark River Harris, rather. And that'll be a first down. Stop the clock and move the chains. Acrobatic little catch. He got some hops under him.
He did. He did. Nice grab. Way to go up and get the ball.
So Perpich is the quarterback this time, wearing number 2. And a little crossing pattern. Went up and got it with some good hands, and the last timeout is going to be called here by the Black offense. As they really, you want to get something here, Jerry. I mean, you've been a nice job. You gave up the 1 touchdown, nothing since, and you've been doing a good job defensively. And now's a chance for your offense to really spark things up.
Yep, getting on the board before half, that would really be a good thing for the Black All-Stars. And that last pass, that was another rare over-the-middle pass. You know, we see a lot of the passes to the outside, but there's some field to be had there in the middle.
Well, over the middle at any level of football is dangerous for a lot of levels. Dangerous for the receiver, dangerous for the defender, dangerous for the turnover.
You gotta have your head on a swivel there.
So you don't see that a whole lot. As I'm looking down at the sideline beneath us, Darren Johnson, they are looking at that ankle once again. You always, I mean, you're never happy with an ankle injury, but you always worry about a knee or something like that here, which can be a little bit more of a, I don't say devastating, but it can be certainly much more serious injury. Ankles are not good, and I've sprained an ankle, as I'm sure you've had, and it's not fun. But they're getting a good look with him down here at the sideline, and Doc Layton is there as well, so you know Darren Johnson's in great hands. So final timeout. Both teams have expired all 3 of them, which is normal for an all-star game. And the Black team has it 1st and 10. Just inside the 38-yard line of the Red All-Stars here at the Superior Dome in Marquette, one of the greatest facilities you'll ever be in to take in a football game at any level. And so now they shake things up in the offensive side of things as Severns is back in. And the righty across the middle got his man to the far sideline. Out of bounds it goes and stop the clock. As that's Hughesby once again out of Gladstone on the catch. That's still that purple helmet with the Newberry sticker on it. I can't get used to that.
It is weird seeing that.
And it's funny because these guys in practice all week long, they don't do that with the decals. That's always like right before the game.
Okay.
They do that. So once again, Severns, he's got things rolling. Stop the clock as the play went out of bounds. Black All-Stars trying to get the equalizer as we head towards halftime. Shotgun, Severns, low snap. And he's got a man, gun, look, waits, going to lock this one out of bounds. Yes, just barely out of bounds. Getting there was Lacoste, or make that 14, Ethan Burke out of Westwood. And Burke was actually open a bit in the end zone, but that's a bit of a throw.
But we've seen a few snaps that were a little low, a little high. I was a center in football. Maybe the centers are a little rusty here.
You got any eligibility left?
Oh, my playing days are over.
So 3rd down for the Black All-Star team as we head towards halftime here in Marquette. Shotgun formation again here for Severns, George Severns from Newberry. And that's Burke at the bottom of your screen out of Westwood. Low snap once again. Good hands to control it. Across the middle they go, and bobbling it. Out of the backfield, Jake Witt.
That's definitely the game plan, though. Try to get those outside routes, get out of bounds, stop the clock. But you stop the clock with a drop as well.
Let's get another look at that one. That may have been Johansson out of Brimley. It looked like it was a 93. Or is that an 88 coming across the middle? There's 93 split out to the right-hand side. And again, yep, that's going to be 88 on the play instead here. Caleb Johansson from Brimley. So 4th down now as the clock stops on the incompletion. 7-0 Red, as you see, as we inch our way towards halftime. Shotgun, Severance. This one bounces to him. Here comes pressure. Severance just got it away, picked off. And that'll do it here pretty much for the first half. Tomasowski's got his 2nd interception here for the Red defense. And you take a look back upfield, and Severance quickly to get up. So a big hit is no loss for the Black All-Star team. And Tomasowski again in great position.
You notice another low snap.
Yep, that one bounced to him. And he got hit hard. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red All-Stars. Do you take a knee here and head to the locker room?
I'd air it out once. And then if that doesn't work, yeah, take a knee.
Only issue with that is a pick coming back the other way.
That's true, too.
You got to be careful in these situations here, because I would say the Red All-Stars have certainly had the better of the play, but when you take a look at the scoreboard, they only got a 7-point lead.
That's true. Yeah, that would be an unfortunate turn of events if you were the Red All-Stars to lob it up.
You've watched enough football, been around enough football, and played enough football to know that anything can happen if you give it the chance. And here is Blank. Why not? Near side, got his man. And trying to get out of harm's way and move upfield is 19 Reholly, and he got out of there. Can he outrun him? No. 40-yard line, make that to 37. As defensively, Haslow out of Escanaba had made the play. They take the risk, and they reap the reward as Reholly with another catch. Now 49 seconds to go as we get another look at it. And this is just a great cut upfield. And the defense there. And Reholly just able to spin out of the arms of the defender and then juke his way. And then Haslow finally able to track him down from behind. No timeouts to save him, so the Red All-Stars, they put it in motion with 48 seconds to go. Shotgun formation here for Blank, the former Mustang out of Munising. Near sideline, looking, waiting. Reholly got it again and out of bounds at the 23. Boy, would that be a drive to end the first half?
Yeah, I mentioned take a stab at it. It panned out very fortunately.
Well,
it doesn't always go that way.
Well, this is they're taking a stab at it with a spear instead of just poking you with a pocket knife. Good grief. And so after the pick by Tomasowski, his 2nd, now they've discovered Jeff Reholly, the receiver out of Newberry, who's again split to the bottom of your screen, top of your screen, Ortman from Norway. And again, shotgun here as you see 37 seconds to go here in the opening half. And the Red team with the lead, and now pressure on Blank. Guns it to the far sideline. Ortman is there, deflected away beautifully as the Black defender got back in a real hurry.
Yeah, you can't defend that any better. That was perfectly timed, went up at the same time as the receiver and swatted that ball away. Good position.
That was that Jankard out of Menominee make the defensive play? Hang on, let's take a look at the replay. And a white helmeted. No. Trying to get the number on the play. That's 20, and a great play from Wilson out of Norway. So was that Norway on Norway?
Was that?
Only in the UP All-Star game,
Yeah,
eh?
really.
It is, well, 2nd down and 10. Clock stops on the incompletion here, so the Red All-Stars will make a decision here along this near sideline. Now, you got to remember the play clock is still in motion, even though it's not on here at the Superior Dome. They don't use that for high school. Even if there's a playoff game, they don't use that. So they're not using it for the All-Star game. But boy, I tell you, the Red All-Stars just a moment ago had an interception and a delay of game against the Red All-Stars. They had the interception down at about the 15-yard line, and then 2 big plays to Reholly, and here we are, but the delay of game will go against the Red. And I don't think the coaching staff is too upset with that.
No, they're content with that.
And I am glad to report to you, maybe you see him, number 3 down there at the bottom of your screen. That's Darren Johnson, who was shaken up at the on that turnover by the Red All-Stars a little bit ago. Great to see him on his feet. and on the sideline. Probably taped up pretty good. Blank, back, waits, guns across the middle, had a man, and just overshot his receiver. As 22, Foster Miller out of launch out of the backfield was there, brings up third down at about 15.
Sometimes back there in the pocket, you start hearing footsteps and you get a little too excited, put a little too much gusto on that ball.
They had the man open.
After the incomplete passes, 3rd and 15 ball.
So third down, and to say this is 4-down territory, I think would probably be the most obvious thing we could do. But why not? You're definitely in 4-down territory. Alec Blank calls it out. Got Reholly here at the bottom of the screen. He's looking at him, and again, floats this one. Reholly got free, can't get to the football. A little juke move, cut inside, cut outside, and the ball just a little bit overthrown, and now it is 4th down, and I do not believe we're in field goal position here. This would be this would be close to about a 45-yarder.
It requires a lot of leg.
And so the play clock is in motion. And the brain trust, now there's Twardzik. You see big number 88 out of Calumet. Big target. And Miller out of launch. So you're going to see, I believe, a lot of upfield motion here for this offense here by the Red. Now they can get a first down inside the 12. Split out top, Ortman. Reholly here at the bottom. Shotgun for Blank. And the defender got through, and Blank's just got to float this one. Can he get to Ortman? Can he get it there? No. Incomplete. 10 seconds to go. And the black team, after giving up quite a few yards here, Jerry, going to wind up going into the locker room only down 7.
Not too bad.
And I can't emphasize enough how entertaining this has been, despite the fact that it's only had the 1 touchdown.
Yeah, tremendous plays from all sides, both defense and offense. It has been fun to watch. I don't always say that about low-scoring games, but I've really enjoyed this one.
I've enjoyed the intensity. You know, this is a football game.
Absolutely.
You know, this isn't the Pro Bowl. You know, this isn't the NBA All-Star game. You know, where it's point night. You know, this is a good defensive battle, which you don't see a lot.
No, these
in All-Star games like this.
They've come to play for sure.
And so the Black All-Stars gun it near sideline, and now a little hook and lateral as they try and get their man out of the backfield. And they pitched it to Logan Carroll as time expires here in the first half. Interesting way to wrap things up. You never know what's going to happen, and that's why we love watching these kids go at it in June. Summertime football with the Red All-Stars leading the Blacks 7-0 back to the Superior Dome in Marquette for halftime and more here on TV6. Mark Evans, Jerry Tudor, our TV6 crew, as you see halftime here at the Superior Dome. The Red team on the lone touchdown. Darren Johnson out of Gladstone hooking up with Jeff Reholly out of Newberry. And that is where we stand here, and it's been a very entertaining defensive game here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. Second half in mere moments. First, let's head back to TV6, and in the studio is our friend Mike Ludlam.
Welcome to halftime of the UP Football All-Star Game. I'm Mike Ludlam. Many athletes in the game had a chance to blow off some steam Wednesday in the skills competition at the Superior Dome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
After the usual pause and reluctance of anybody wanting to go first, Kingsford's Eddie Plumley stepped up to the bench and proceeded to put a big number on the board, 17 reps at 225 pounds. That would prove to be the winning number for linemen. Westwood's Tobin Filizzetti was second with 14 reps. In the non-lineman category, Escanaba running back Logan Carroll reached double digits with 12 to win that category. Both winners say good workout programs at their schools certainly help in the bench press.
We have a great weight trainer, Nate Swartout, and he's been huge in helping us with everything, like from lifting, conditioning, everything, and he's given me a lot of great tips with lifting, and I lift on my own a lot too, and it's helped me a lot with my bench press and all of my other lifts.
It's just basically remembering what I did. I did train my heart out for the game. I love the game. I have a strong passion for it, so it just came naturally to me. It doesn't feel like hard work at all. It's just all passion.
In the 40-yard dash, Westwood's Ethan Burke had the best time for non-linemen, 4.665 seconds, a little quicker than Gladstone's Darren Johnson and Lance's Foster Miller.
Our training programs did great to help me get to this time. Advantage came over and helped us all the time. That's pretty much how I got my time.
Nice job, Ruby! Woo!
The official winner in the lineman division was Jake Ryla of Houghton, a record time of 4.652 seconds. Now here's a look at the winners in the skills competition. As we mentioned, Kingsford's Eddie Plumley in the lineman bench, Escanaba's Logan Carroll in the non-lineman bench press, Westwood's Ethan Burke in the non-lineman 40-yard dash, Houghton's Jake Ryla in the lineman 40-yard dash. Forest Park's Pete Ropiak had the longest throw at 54 yards, which is completely baffling because Forest Park did not throw a pass in its 8-man state championship game. Newberry's Jeff Rahali was the top receiver for the non-lineman. Escanaba's John Schlenvold was the best receiver in the lineman category. Engadine's Scout Bigger had the best punt of 50 yards, and Forest Park's Zach Roberge knocked down a 45-yard field goal. That will do it for halftime of the UP Football All-Star Game. We'll send it back out to Mark Evans and Jerry Tudor in a moment.
You are looking in at our only touchdown and only score of this ball game. Darren Johnson, the quarterback out of Gladstone, lines up Jeff Reholly out of Newberry, and that, with the extra point, is what we have for you in what has been an oddly entertaining game for such a low-scoring affair. With Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, our TV6 crew. We're also streaming this online at UpperMichiganSource.com. And you take a look at this second half of play, Jerry, and what I love about it is who knows what's going to happen now.
I would agree. I think it's wide open. And you mentioned it being so entertaining. You don't say that very often for such a low-scoring game, but there's been such athleticism and tremendous plays on both sides of the ball from both teams.
So it will be the red team with that 7-0 lead actually taking the second half kickoff here in just a couple of moments, as both teams are back out. And if you're both coaching staffs, Jerry, I think you're actually in a lot of ways quite pleased with what you saw.
Yeah, there weren't any big, huge errors or lapses in judgment or anything of that nature. Just when there's so much talent, it's going to be kind of a give and take on both ends.
Josh Plant from Norway will have the ball on the tee, kicking as you see it from left to right. And a crowd that has been really into this ball game.
Absolutely.
And he will kick it deep, and there are a number of red jerseys back there that are in position to grab this football as it's blasted low and right into the hands of one of the upmen here from Escanaba. And turning and heading the other direction here for the red team is Josh Grassel, and that'll put the football in good field position for the red out there at about the 35, actually right at the 35-yard line.
Nifty spin move there towards the end to get a few extra yards.
And take a look at who is coming out to play quarterback here to open up this series, and that is Darren Johnson. And man, is that great to see. If you're just joining us, he went down with what looked like a pretty significant injury to the lower leg. He's had a bad ankle since coming into this ball game, but Darren Johnson is going to run the show once again here, and good luck keeping a kid like that out of this game.
One tough Uper.
So he is out of the shotgun here for the Red All-Stars, and it is a direct snap actually to the running back that's with him. And cutting to the right, Connor Bordolini out of Forest Park. We talked about him earlier. Bordolini with that just amazing football game, championship game in the 8-man D2 victory over Portland St. Patrick. And I alluded this early, Bordolini at one time in that championship game had about 148 yards on the ground as compared to like 8 for St. Patrick in a dominating D2 championship game for the Forest Park Trojans.
Yeah, he just could not be stopped in that game. I, again, had the privilege of working sideline camera and watching all those terrific runs.
Well, and then you throw, Pete Ropiak on top of that. And how do you stop that express in that championship game? So Johnson's going to stay in at quarterback. But again, he's got Bordolini right there with him to his right-hand side. Just underway here, third quarter here at the Superior Dome. And Johnson, they're going to reverse the pitch. And this is sniffed out beautifully. Staying home, black all-star wearing number 36, Jake Ryla out of Houghton. And that's a big, big loss on the play.
Ryla actually during the skills competition, the fastest player out of all of them.
Yep. Stayed home. And offensively, trying to get that to Reholly, who's got the touchdown pass. They tried to open him up on the misdirection play, and I think we're going to see the playbook start to open up a little bit here for both these teams.
Yeah, they've had plenty of time to feel each other out.
It is 3rd and 19 after that play. Johnson going to call things out here. Red All-Stars got a lot of field to cover, but this is what Darren Johnson can do. Hurdles one man, but he's going to be just shy, and a flag comes flying in at the end. This might be on Johnson for hurdling. That's a spectacular play, but that might actually be on that young man right there.
I did not know that was a penalty.
They've spotted it a yard shy. He goes up and over, and I don't see any infraction behind him unless they call that helmet-to-helmet contact on the defender. But what's the play going to be? Unsportsmanlike conduct. That's the hurdling call that goes against Johnson. You get it, you don't get it. I understand the rule, I understand where they're coming from, but boy, did that take a spectacular play out of the record book.
Yeah, that's some true athleticism. I did not. That's the first I've heard that is an infraction.
Well, you don't see it at high school level very often. And all I can say is I am so grateful he is back in this ball game.
Yeah, when he was down, he was kind of writhing around. So it is tremendous to see him back.
So he's been obviously taped up, and now they're not going to let Johnson come back in. This is substitution. Huh.
Maybe you have to sit out a play.
Perhaps for unsportsmanlike. That's a rule I do not know, but I do know that Johnson's on the sideline, and Alec Blank from Munising is right back into the ball game. And a fairly fast-moving football game. This All-Star game has taken many, many hours some years, but we've also not had a ton of scoring so far.
Sure.
Single receiver either side here on 3rd and forever. Blank the Mustang. Not going to get much. Gain of about 3 on the play and 4th and forever here for the Reds All-Stars. And if you're a fan of the kids wearing black, you got to be happy with that stand because they've given up quite a few yards in that opening half.
Yeah, and some big plays too. Some deep balls and big runs have been broke off, but hopefully they've got some renewed steel here for the second half.
Well, this is Johnson. He punted once in the first half for the Red All-Stars. Not much, as it was more of a pop-up than anything else. But it was also more of a quick kick than anything else. This is actual punt formation here for the Red All-Stars. Johnson back. They're going to try and run it. He's got an opening up the right sideline. Can they shut him down? They can. And getting there for the Black All-Stars, Jesus Massara out of Stevenson. And that's a big play defensively for the Black All-Stars. I'm a little surprised in that area of the field. I realize you've got one of the best athletes we've seen in the Upper Peninsula in years in Johnson, as a flag is in the backfield now for the Red All-Star team.
There really haven't been that many punts in the game.
No. And this is going to be against the red team, and I'd be really surprised if the Black All-Stars accepted this, because look at the field position they've got right now as it stands inside the 35. Illegal procedure is going to be waived off. And so the Black All-Star team in business here at the 33-yard line of the red. And I don't question coaches and calls, but I was a little surprised to see that happen.
Yeah, that would have been I'm normally favor a little bit more risk-taking, a little bit more aggressive, but that deep early on in the second half.
With 20 yards, that
I would have punted too.
Well, but again, we've seen a lot of great defense in this ballgame. Maybe the coaching staff of the Reds going to just say, hey, defense, you've been doing it so far, let's keep it rolling. But this is a great opportunity for the kids wearing black. As stepping in is Sawyer Perpich, quarterback out of Kingsford. And a little bit of a delay now as they finally do what here? Referee making his way back out to the center part of the field. And Perpich is ready to go, as are the Stripes. Slot right, single receiver left. Pitch right side. We saw a lot of this early in the ball game. Cutting up ahead is Logan Carroll out of Escanaba. And the black team, they've been doing a nice job when they've been able to get forward of grinding things out.
Yeah, almost 4 yards on that run. My coach used to say, I'll take 4 yards every down.
Now, you brought up something from the All-Star as far as some of the money and where it's going to. This is one part of this All-Star game I want to make sure people are very aware of, because it is to benefit the programs of these schools.
Absolutely. Both Menominee and Westwood received $1,000 each from donations raised by the players in this game.
And every school district, every football program, that's the goal set by XL Sports and the UP All-Star football game, is going to benefit from this game. And benefiting from some good defensive play are the Red All-Stars. Is getting in there Joseph Rietfeld from Kingsford. We've talked about him a couple of times. Big number 71 coming rolling in with that blue helmet. And just as we said, the black team's been able to grind it out. Red team knocks him back for about 10 yards.
No slouches on D either. Just good penetration, getting through, working past your man, and wrapping him up, taking him down.
Worked right through the block.
Yep.
And it sets the black team back with 10.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Third down and about 16. Wade Kreshak is split out to the right side out of Superior Central. And they got a man, they sprung him open far side. It is good and down to the 10-yard line. Good looking play as the catch is made up that far sideline.
So you mentioned these teams picked by a draft by the coaches. That's why you're seeing such even play. You know, you look at this replay and you see one strong defensive play followed by a tremendous offensive play.
Well, I saw 28, but that's actually 29. That is Arndt out of Bark River Harris. And so Al Stenberg, the head coach, calling one of his own guys on that one. It is first down and goal from the 10. And what a toss from Perpich, who stays in at quarterback here for the Black All-Star team. Pitch, left side, not much there. Logan Carroll once again for Escanaba. Boy, the red shirts got there in a hurry. We got a long way to go in this one here, Jerry, but I'm telling you, this could be a key time in this ball game for the Black All-Stars. They got to get something in here and get it going soon.
Yep, you got to get on that board, make a statement.
Checking in there, you see 11, Aaron Heinault out of Lakeland and Hubble. And stepping out of the fray, Tyler Blakely from Newberry. As you see the configurations of the jerseys with that XLUP logo on the back, always a good look. Always such a good look for these two teams coming into this one. Second and goal, no gain on the play here for the Black All-Stars. Single receiver split out here to the right-hand side. And they fake the handoff. They go inside and getting buried from behind. Perpich had a man, Jake Witt from Ontonagon. The big man out here split to the right side. He was double covered and nowhere to go. That seemed to be the only area he was going to go.
Another tremendous example of, break off the big play for the Black All-Stars, and then the Red All-Stars respond with two good defensive stands.
And again, Witt, an interesting story, officially listed as an Ontonagon Gladiator, but goes to school at Ewan Trout Creek. Those two teams combining forces when numbers at Ewan Trout Creek barely allowed them to have 8-man football at the time. These rural schools way out there, you got to admire these kids and what they bring to the table. Witt is the lone man for the black shirts. Up, down, 3 red jerseys, and one of them got a bump in early. It'll be first and goal. You see Jacob Tucker there from Iron Mountain, hands in the air. Well, it may not have been him. There were 3 red jerseys back there in coverage. So they'll march this one off. It is half the distance to the goal. And when you've got a guy that size and you got that jump ball capability here for a kid like Jake Witt, I'm surprised they haven't gone to him every play down here inside the 15-yard line. We get another look at this one here. 1, 2. I can see where they would make that call. They got, I believe, Kresge from Kingsford on that play, which is interesting because you got Iron Mountain and Kingsford back there in defensive coverage. Pass interference is officially the call. So the Black All-Stars now have it first and goal. They'll mark the football at the 5-yard line. Chain Gang hasn't changed things up, though. They'll say they've got a third down listed. Unless that's not an automatic first, which I believe it was. Anyway, Logan Carroll, not much there.
When you have a player that height, triple coverage, double coverage, you just throw it up and let him go get the ball, just like Calvin Johnson with the Lions.
So they marked this fourth down. All right, so I'm making the assumption that it's an automatic first, and apparently not the case. So 4th and 5 here for the Black All-Stars. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of a receiver from Ontonagon. Now the red defense wants to take a break, so we'll do the same and bring the 4th down play next. Black team marching, but they trail by 7 here on TV6. A very, very key play here as you see the Red All-Stars leading 7-0. Black All-Stars have it 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. And Jerry, they've been here before.
They have. They're hoping this time for a different outcome, one where they can punch it through.
Watch the top of your screen. That's 93 Jake Witt out of Ontonagon. Single coverage on him with Chase Kresge out of Kingsford. And they're going to fake and instead roll to the near sideline. Caught, touchdown, make that Black All-Stars, and they're right back in it. They find Ryan Arndt out of Bark River Harris. So you and I are looking one direction, and they sneak Arndt in underneath. And as we mentioned, Al Stenberg is the head coach of the Black All-Stars from Bark River Harris. And they are a point away from equalizing this one here, third quarter.
That's how you mix it up. Everybody focus on the big guy. Well, don't forget about the others.
And he made a cut on his defender there, Scout Bigger out of Engadine. And now for the extra point here. Perpich will hold. And Josh Plant out of Norway. Snap back, it won't be contested. He kicks it up and blasts this one through. And we have ourselves a 7-7 All-Star game here in Marquette. Jerry, wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, been great action so far. Good to see some more points get up on the board. Here's another look at that.
And this one coming right into your family room.
Excellent catch, good job. We're all tied up at 7. So now it's up to the Red All-Stars. Are they gonna respond?
So a 5-yard grab for Arndt. And just like that, we're back to scratch. And again, folks here in Marquette enjoying this one. And you can see it even in that shot right there. The reds, blues, blacks, oranges, all the colors of these football programs so well represented here in the 11th installment. And we've seen some good ones. I was talking to someone about the 2016 adventure where it was the, well, basically Ozzy Corp show at the end. And that was a comeback for the ages for that now Michigan Tech Husky. As Plant will put a foot into it, just a squib kick. Bounced up here to the near side, and there is that Blank from Munising, the quarterback. He takes a rock right there at the 32-yard line. Black team in there trying to strip it free, and they can't. And Alec Blank will return it out to the 32-yard line.
You mentioned this is the 11th year for the All-Star Game. Over that time, they've actually donated more than $100,000 back to schools. And they've also collected more than 10,000 pounds of food that is used in local food pantries.
And you brought up something interesting, too, about numbers. You're not surprised when you hear this, but the team, the high school that has had the most representatives in this high school all-star game is?
Menominee with 49 players.
Yeah, the Maroons have had great success over the years in the Great Northern Conference, and you see a lot of white helmets from the Maroons here in this ball game from year to year. Blank returned the kick. He will take over as quarterback. Stack backfield behind him here as they'll go with a little misdirection play. And dropping the football and having to pick it back up. The Red All-Stars and the black team right there to sniff it out of harm's way. And a little frustration slam of the football there as they got it to Foster Miller out of Lance. And uncomfortable play from the start.
Yeah, if you watch the ball actually bounce almost right back up into his hands. Just coming around the corner. It luckily just popped right back up.
So the clock will stay in motion and a loss of a couple of yards on the play. And that's unfortunate because Miller looked like he had a little bit of an opening here on this near sideline and had to recover so much from the football hitting the turf.
Yep.
Scout Wonder. Or make that Ortman from Norway here down underneath. As Blank's going to run far sideline. Got his man open there. What a surprise. Reholly once again. By my count, that's catch number 6.
Yeah, becoming a favorite target, it would seem.
And what do we have here? Flag on the far sideline now. So Reholly with the grab. And now the Stripes will have some things to talk about. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the red team. Second one of this third quarter. First one was a hurdling call against Darren Johnson, and This I have no idea unless.
Yeah, let's watch the replay.
Because I looked down at something on the stat sheet. Throw, catch, and did he slam the ball down on the defender? Yeah, right there. Said or did something there.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to keep it clean.
Well,
it's intense.
Certainly wasn't a dirty play, and what that does is show you how much these kids want to win this game, and that's what I've always loved about this. You know, you can talk about all-star games at whatever level. They're usually not that competitive unless you're trying to see, like I said, who can get to 200 points first.
Yeah, that is very different here from this game, of course.
So that brings up 3rd and forever here for the Red All-Stars. Blank again, looking, chase, spun down, buried. And he's going to lose another 10 yards. Say hello, Kyle Seeley out of Manistee. And the big fellow with a big play right there for the Black All-Star team, and you're starting to feel a big momentum swing here in this ball game.
Yeah, just like that, big defensive stop. That was a tremendous sack.
So they had it out the 33-yard line. They'll be punting from inside their own 10. As you get a look at 77, boom. Finishing him off right there. Actually, the beginning of that was James Dimitrovic out of Ontonagon to start that play. So dropping back in punt coverage, Michael Wilson now out of Norway. Johnson back, and a spiraling, bouncing kick that is going to be taken by Wilson from Norway. Straight up the gut. Got a seam up the right sideline. Can he beat Johnson? No. 22-yard line as Darren Johnson and company throw a shoulder right into him. Also over to help on the red side of things, Foster Miller out of Lance. Back to good field position here for the Black Team All-Stars.
Yeah, you mentioned it just a moment ago. Momentum, you can start to feel it. They get a touchdown, a good defensive stand, a good return. It all builds on each other.
Wilson, a little stutter, juke step there, and then look at the speed. Takes off. Johnson right there, just boom with the shoulder on him.
That was a good hit.
Can't tell him he was shaken up in the first half of play and had to be helped off the field. Darren Johnson there on special teams. Single receiver to the top is Wade Kreshak out of Superior Central. Hughesby from Gladstone split to the right. And back in the ball game is Severns out of Newberry. He's got a man with him in the backfield. Bounced the snap to him, but a nice job to recover. Then here on the near sideline, just caught the touchdown a moment ago. And with another catch, here is 29 Ryan Arndt from Bark River Harrison. The former Bronco gets it inside the 20-yard line. You can definitely feel it switching sides, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Yep, and like I said, they just build off each other. Here's another look at that last play. Arndt becoming a favorite target here. Good grab, good awareness to spin around, try to get a few extra yards. That's how it's done.
Kreshak again, the Superior Central receiver up top. Split right this time is Ethan Burke, the former Westwood Patriot. Shotgun here for the black-shirted All-Stars. Dropping back here is Severns. Looking, waiting to the middle, drop, popped up and interception. Now this is trouble. Big block far sideline, and a big hit is going to be flagged on special teams. But the pick is the 3rd of the ball game for the Red All-Stars, and then a personal foul against a defenseless blocker up that far sideline, and that's the right call. So we'll take another look at this as everybody apparently is up and okay. But that was a tremendous hit and not a very legal one by the Red All-Star team. So this will be pick number 3 for the red shirts, as it was popped in the air. Bringing it down is Aaron Corkin out of Ishpeming, and you see that big hit that was thrown. So calmer heads are going to prevail. We're under 5, so we got to take a break. All-Star game is tied at 7 in Marquette here on TV6. Third interception by the Red All-Star defense. And this one, courtesy of Aaron Corkin from Ishpeming. And look at the opportunities these black-shirted All-Stars have had here, Jerry, and another one goes by the wayside on a deflected ball.
Yeah, they had everything going in the right direction. You thought momentum was on their side, and just like that, The momentum switches.
It's a funny game. The penalty was actually a block in the back. I thought they might have gotten a personal foul on a defenseless player, but not the case. Simply a block in the back, which is still not good for the Reds because it puts them back to the 11 or so yard line. Now they've got the football at the 15 on 2nd down and 8. Single receiver near side. Dropping back is Johnson. Looking, waiting. Got a man trying to get behind the backfield, and this is going to be picked off. Josh Plant from Norway, playing center field, has given the black shirts the ball back at the 45-yard line of the Red Team All-Stars.
Just a battle for momentum. It goes one way, it goes the other, just like that.
They had a man open back behind the defensive secondary. I want to say that was Delary out of Westwood. And again, Plant just stepped right in front of it and picked it off.
I've heard coaches say in the past, too, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad.
So that brings us to the 4-minute mark here of this third quarter. 1 score in this second half. That was the equalizer by the Black All-Star team. And now they've got the football with a single receiver here to the near hand side. And everybody else in tight. Perpich back at quarterback here for the black-shirted All-Stars. Give. Good look right side. And getting dragged out of bounds is the runner on the play here. That is Tyler Blakely out of Newberry. And that's going to be a first down for the black-shirted All-Star team. First down after a 13-yard run. See, we get another look at this because those slow developing plays are sometimes the one that work the best. And we'll pop it instead right to the line of scrimmage. That is Jake Witt at the bottom of your screen. We thought he might be the target last time around. Instead, it turned out to be Arndt from Bark River Harris. At quarterback, Perpich from Kingsford. Split backfield behind him. They fake the handoff, and now he's got pressure. Not able to spin. Now he does. Perpich got away from the first wave, but getting over in a hurry. The Red All-Stars, and that's going to bring up second down and long.
Excellent job by the D, not letting him break out, staying with him.
These quarterbacks are fun to watch because they're usually able to get away from the first player or 2. It's what happens after that that is where the problems come into play. See, Perpich trying to get tracked down by a couple of players here.
Yep.
And then finally able to clean up the mess, big number 55, that's Gavin Harris out of Rapid River. So second down after a loss of 4 on the play, and back to the 37-yard line they go. Sawyer Perpich stays under center here. Witt down here at the bottom of the screen. Slot receiver to the left-hand side. Now pitch inside to Logan Carroll. Got the outside, found a seam, and that's a good positive gain. And now manageable on third down as we're under 2:40 to go here in the third quarter.
Good gain, despite there was some good defensive penetration there, too. They almost got him in the backfield.
So third down and about 7, we'll call it, as they spot it at the 29-yard line. And back and forth we go. 7-7. Yes, it's been that entertaining if you're just tuning in.
Yeah, look, just the pitch. See, 55 just barely missed him. Able to turn that into a good run.
Gustafson, St. Ignace over to help clean up the loose change on the far side of the field. But again, the Black All-Stars with decent field position here, looking for better. They just got the interception from Josh Plant out of Norway. Perpich will look things over. Give to Logan Carroll on the right side off the pitch. Cuts up ahead. Got it on 1, falls forward. And now this gets interesting. Fourth down and a couple, and outside of field goal position. You see what you can get here on this fourth down play. Boy, he didn't get the spot I thought he was going to get. That's going to be actually a long 2, almost 3. Clock continuing to roll here in a rapid-fire third quarter.
This whole game has had a really good pace. It's
3:23 local time, and I've had these All-Star games where I got out of here at 5:30. I think we're going to have a little bit better. And of course, those were like 38-31,
sure.
Slugfest. This is a slugfest of a different manner. They go inside and out of the backfield, and getting the first down is Ryan Arndt. He caught a touchdown pass, and now he's running out of the backfield to give the black-shirted All-Stars a first down.
That was a good, tough run. That was a UP football run. Right up the middle, right at you, bowl you over.
Yeah, we talked about that, Jerry and I, before we went live with this one. There is a difference a lot of times when you see the UP kids and the downstate teams. There's a lot of finesse downstate, misdirection, all this other stuff. Up here, nope, coming right at you, coming downhill. And not make any secret of it. Go ahead, here's the play. Well, matter of fact, why don't you come in the huddle with us? We'll let you know what the play is. You just stop it. Logan Carroll out of Escanaba cuts ahead, and he's got it first and goal for the black-shirted All-Stars, and a heads-up play. Great tackle in there as well. Aaron Corkin, who just had a pick a moment ago, the former Ishpeming Hematite.
Same deal. Nothing fancy, no trickery, just run it right at you. And just like that, they're inside scoring range for sure.
Aaron Barnes out of Hancock also in on that tackle as well. And the Red defense, been here before. They've picked off 3 passes in this ball game. Matter of fact, last time the black-shirted All-Stars were down here, that's exactly what happened on the deflection. Witt out top of your screen. Misdirection play to Logan Carroll. He's got the 5. He is to the house and a touchdown for the Black All-Stars. They trailed 7-0, and now they lead it 13-7.
There's that momentum again.
Keeping it basic, keeping it simple, wearing the other team down with 16 to go in the third quarter, and a very, very happy Eskimo.
Another look as he scores. Good run.
Got the block he needed, and straight ahead he went.
Yeah, that's an element as a lineman. We appreciate the recognition.
Perpich the hold, Josh Plant to try and tack on the extra point. Pass back is a good one. And he slams this one through, and it's 14-7 with 16 to go here in the third quarter. Very quietly becoming a very, very fun little football game, and we still got a quarter to go.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to that fourth quarter action. It should be good.
Oh, God, we still got 16 seconds left in this quarter. Heaven only knows what can happen there. Well, we're glad you could join us here. 11th installment of the UP Football All-Star Game here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. UpperMichiganSource.com joining us here on this Saturday. Welcome into our tape delay broadcast if you're joining us on Sunday afternoon. And like I said earlier, you see all the greens and burgundies and golds and blues and all the high school colors that are represented. It's almost like band day in a odd sense here at Northern.
Absolutely.
When they bring all the high school bands in here. You can't tell from that camera angle right there, but a bigger crowd actually on this sideline. So overall, I remember the first couple of years of this, you didn't have this kind of turnout. You know, folks locally coming in to catch some football. Folks are traveling for this. I saw a ton of folks tailgating.
Yes.
Before this on this sticky little summer afternoon. Plant's got it on the tee here. And the Norway Knight blast this one low. And it's going to be picked up. And looking up ahead is Blank. This is his second return of the football game, and out to about the 30-yard line. Officially the 29 with 8 seconds to go. And Alec Blank's been a busy kid.
Yeah, he is.
Returning kicks, running offenses, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, I've been saying that name a lot.
Wrapping up a really good career with the Munising Mustangs. As you start to see some hands on hips and a little bit of fatigue on this very, very sticky summer day here, last day of June 2018. I can't believe I just used those words in that order. Did we just have a major winter storm like a month ago?
It sure feels like it, absolutely. And then here we are with a heat advisory today. It's tough. I'm sure all these athletes are staying hydrated on the sideline.
As I always say, the weather in the UP, all it does is weed out the weak. And we got an illegal substitution going on right now as the Red All-Stars broke the team with 12, or broke the huddle rather with 12 men. Mike Baruti doesn't agree with that call.
Remember, this game today, of course, is the culmination of a full week of events. Started with Monday, where they were paired up with nobody from their own team. It had to be somebody else, so they had to get to know some new players.
One of the cool things is you're given a roommate that you don't know, and then at the Friday banquet, you have to stand up and tell everybody at the banquet about your roommate. As they look for Johnson out of the backfield. Now, this might be a holding call against the defense, as they had Blank drop back with the play in the football, and Darren Johnson, the other quarterback, coming out of the backfield, is coming up a little bit gimpy there. Time is Kyle Seeley from Manistee, who had a big play early in this third quarter. So flags fly. That'll stop the clock here, at least momentarily, as this might be a defensive hold. Sure enough, you got to wonder if Johnson would be dancing right now if they hadn't grabbed the jerseys he went by. And you see number 3 right there. And if you were with us earlier, he went down hard in that second quarter, and they looked at the lower leg, and I'm not sure how much tape and gauze he's got on him right now, but that's a competitor.
Oh, absolutely.
He's coming back into this game.
Yeah, he was in a lot of pain on the field earlier. It's great to see him out there again.
So they will put the game clock. Oh, yes, holding. Thank you. We got it. Set the sticks on the far sideline, and it is a first down. Play clock goes in motion. Unless there's a penalty, this should be the final play here of the third quarter. 14-7. The Black All-Stars have come from 7 down. They've scored 14 straight. And they lead here in the Superior Dome, and more whistles.
The Red All-Stars just looking to get that momentum back on their side now.
And the chain gang,
right now, momentum is
I
stuck.
believe, is. All right, it is the off season for the chain gang. I'm going to cut them a little bit of slack here, but the chain gang on the far side is a little clueless as to where they need to be. It should be 1st and 5, and that's where we have it.
There we go. They got it now.
And officially 2 seconds to go. Shotgun here for the Red All-Stars, down a touchdown as we approach the fourth quarter. Blank back, looks, waits. Got his man here near side, diving and not able to get there is Reholly out of Newberry, and we've completed 3 here in Marquette, and we've got a good one. 14-7, the Black leads the Red here on TV6. As you see the final play of the third quarter is Reholly just out of his reach. That was a tight play, and this 11th installment of the UP Football All-Star Game, also very tight. Red took a lead, 7-0, and the Black, despite 3 picks in this ball game, has found a way to take the lead at 14-7. Alongside Jerry Tudor, our TV6 crew, Mark Evans, and we promise you this might be a good one.
Absolutely. Excited to see what's left in this final quarter, this final 15 minutes. That last touchdown drive by the Black team was some good old-fashioned UP running.
And so a little bit of a delay to get this fourth quarter going. It'll be 2nd down and 5 as the Red All-Stars have it at the 35-yard line of their own. And we are just about set. Ready to get this underway here for Alec Blank, back in at quarterback here. The former Munising Mustang. Ortman split to the right, bobbling it, but picking it up as Blank, and that might have just been all that he needed. He skips away. He's got a first down and across midfield. Sometimes, Jerry, those broken plays are the best thing that can happen to you.
Yeah, it's odd to see, but you know the snap a little bobbled, but they made the best out of it. Absolutely.
As you take a look at our friend Cooper Twardzik right there, and now the replay on this one is it's bobbled. The snap just a little bit out of the reach of Blank, and that set everybody out of position defensively. As finally getting there, Braden Tomes out of Gogibic to make the tackle. Actually, he is a Bessemer High School student, but plays for the Gogibic Range Miners out in the western UP. Conglomerate of Ironwood, Bessemer, Wakefield, Marinesco. It's a big district.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Here
territory.
is Blank looking, far sideline, had a man open, tangling of the feet, and that's going to be pass interference. That is Darren Johnson, who not only playing quarterback, playing running back, and now he's playing wide receiver here on that bum wheel of his. Yeah, you can't trip him. That's they frown on that.
Yes, indeed.
And again, Blank maybe got a little bit of air underneath this one, a little bit more than he wanted. And that allowed the defender to get back a little bit, and that may have been the defender's problem.
Yep, got tangled up.
But it's a big penalty. Now you talked about momentum a little bit here, and now it's definitely wearing a black jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Or right now wearing a red jersey.
I know what you meant.
So again, 15-minute quarters here in this UP All-Star football game. Been that way since the inception. That gets more guys into the game, but it also, like we said, kind of adds that collegiate feel to it.
Yeah, worth mentioning, there are some of these players that are going to go on to schools like Northern Michigan, Michigan Tech, Finlandia.
So here we go. Red team trying to inch their way back into this one, and they've got it just outside the 30-yard line. Blank, give. Not a lot there, but finding a little bit of an opening there for the red team is Foster Miller out of launch, and he actually found about 4 yards.
A lot of these student athletes, too, worth mentioning. A lot of them very bright. There are some super high GPAs among this group.
It's humbling when you take a look at some of these kids. And like we talked about, a little while ago, this is a football game, but it's also these guys learning about community and exercising that knowledge of community with their trip up to Bay Cliff.
Yes.
All the stuff that they do with the food drives and more. Twins right here for the Red All-Stars. Second down mid-range, and they give to the left side of the field. A scout wonder from Escanaba is going to get about a yard. They try to split the field, get the defense looking to their left and run it to the defensive side right. Nothing doing right there.
Yeah, not going to fool the Black All-Stars. They had that sniffed out.
And again, that clock stays in motion here. You're going to see a lot of clock conservation here. If you're the red team, both teams sporting a couple of timeouts. They each burned one in the third quarter. The black team with 2 third-quarter touchdowns. It was 7-0 red at halftime. Split left is Ortman out of Norway. And to the right side here is Reholly out of Newberry. And they fake and roll him back. Blank got stood up, and he got a face full of a black jersey as he tried to step in. That may have been Riola once again.
It was a good stiff hit. Once again, not fooling the Black All-Stars. They got that one.
Joshua Bolden out of Norway in the play as well. And now it is second down. Or make that fourth down, rather, and quite long, 4th and 9. So the red team had that early touchdown to Riola off the hands of Darren Johnson. Since then have been kept out of the end zone, now 4th down. Johnson, that's him split out to the top of your screen. Reholly right here to the bottom of your screen. Shotgun one more time for the former Mustang, Alec Black. Straight back, looking. They set up a screen near sideline with the football. Moving up is Deleri out of Westwood, and he has got where? This is going to depend on the spot. They gave it to him, a first down on a misdirection, and then a screen pass to the far sideline to David Deleri, the former Westwood Patriot, and the Red All-Stars in business after a big, big play.
I kid you not, I was just thinking, when are we going to see some kind of trick play or something that involves a little bit of that misdirection, and this is it.
As you see Deleri coming right at you, and what do we got here? A flag in the backfield. No, I didn't see the call. I was watching the play. If that's an illegal forward pass, that's the only thing, unless there was a block in the back out on that far side. That's the only thing that 15 yards. No, that's, yeah. I have to confess not seeing the call.
Yeah, we were both watching the replay.
Both watching the monitor, and that's a block in the back right there.
Yep.
So now instead of a first down, it is 4th and forever, and now a punting situation perhaps for the red team. Blank, back, nope, he's looking. Make that Johnson blocked right out of midair. Oh, and Darren Johnson knows he had a receiver downfield too. Big play for the black defense coming up big. Jake Riola, there he is out of Houghton once again. And so the red team on the pass to Deleri looked like they had the first down. Block in the back penalty. Makes it 4th and forever, and now the Black All-Stars take over with 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, you seen him smack his helmet after that. He did see that guy downfield.
But what a play by Riola out of Houghton. As water bottle number 6, I believe, is just about ready to be washed out here. I can imagine what it's like down in the field because we know how warm it is up here underneath the lights. As the pass back, they tried to go direct snap to Logan Carroll, and that went nowhere. And a loss on the play of close to 10 to 12 yards. Are you sensing nerves?
It's tough to say. There have been plenty of snaps on both sides that have been not where you want to see them. It may be a case of being a little rusty. There is a significant time between this game and the last time that a lot of these guys played.
Regular season for a lot of these guys ends in late October.
Yep.
So yeah, you're looking at 8 months.
And that's where the play starts, is with the snap.
Clock stays in motion here. Black All-Star team. You're looking right at them. They lead 14-7 as they tried to go with that direct snap. Nothing doing. And here once again is Severns dropping back. Got a man in the flat far sideline and getting dragged down. Ethan Burke from Westwood, and a flag comes flying in, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah,
it's not getting chippy. It's just getting very physical.
Yeah, that was a pretty high tackle.
As Ethan Burke, that's either going to be, that's more like a face mask. And if the flag flies in from 200 yards away, you know it's pretty obvious. So there you have it. And the red team starting to give a little bit more ground here as they took the 7-0 lead. You're just tuning in. Black All-Stars 2 third-quarter touchdowns, and that's where we stand here. As the clock goes back in motion, ball sits at the 40-yard line. George Severns from Newberry. Got a receiver here at the bottom. That is Hughesby from Gladstone. Also a receiver in Burke up at the top here from Westwood. Dropping back Severns. Looks, waits, and not a lot there. Gets pounced on forward as Pete Ropiak out of Forest Park, one of the MVPs of their state championship in 8-man D2 football, comes up and makes the stick wearing big number 13.
That's another transition too. Some of these players coming from 8-man and now having to play, a full 11 roster.
There's always going to be that argument about having an 8-man all-star game, an 11-man all-star game. There's always going to be that argument. But for now, the way it stands, for whatever reasons, be it financial or more, this is the way that we go. But nothing else. Hey, this has been one heck of a football game.
Absolutely.
As Hughesby is split to the bottom of your screen, shotgun again on 2nd down and 7. Another low snap and having to pounce on it. Severns. And again, we're seeing this from both sides, and I'm not wondering if there's perspiration on the hands.
That's a great point.
Or what have you, because both of these centers have been having a heck of a time getting that ball up in the air.
That very well may be it. It is super humid and hot, and there's a lot of sweat, and it's hard to grab onto that ball when you got a sweaty hand.
So that is Francis Scheid out of the Sioux. And again, you could see his hand almost slipping off of that as he tried to snap it back. It's difficult to gauge from here if that is the case or not. But that would actually probably make the most sense. So we're going to go with the I formation this time, as Severns is going to step in under center this time. That's Burke out on top. And they gave to the far side, and just nothing there as they gave one more time to Logan Carroll out of Escanaba, and this is going to set up 4th down and pretty substantial at 15. Do you let the clock roll if you're the black shirts and then kick them deep?
That's what I would do. I would eat some clock and then try to pin them. I mean, if you
it's odd. We're seeing, I think, more mistakes as the game has gone on, both physical and mental, and I'm sure fatigue is a big part of that because it is a very, as you know, hot and sticky day, and this facility is for this time of the year, this is where you want to be playing the game, but it doesn't make it any less warm in here.
Yeah, it's plenty warm.
I would not want to be outside.
No, that'd be worse.
At least you don't have the sun beating down on you. And a flag flies, and that should be against the offense, as it is booted and picked up and grabbed and drafted at the 20-yard line. And what do we got here back? An illegal formation, illegal shift against the offense. And if I'm the Reds, I make them kick it again.
Yeah, I would
The
too.
way snaps have been going?
Absolutely. That's a great point. I mean, it's difficult alone to pin somebody deep. But, yeah, the way the snaps have been going with all that perspiration.
But we talked about the mistakes, and then we see a botched punt.
Yeah.
And thankfully for the Red All-Stars, they had a guy right there. And where are we going with this football? Illegal procedure. And they're going to make them kick it again. I think this is the right call.
Yep.
Well, usually during the course of a telecast like this, we'd be telling you about the next event or the next whole thing like that. This is it right now. I mean, like we said, this is kind of the pre-game to high school football in my mind, but next high school anything isn't until about August 24th. So,
yep, it's great to have this when you do. I mean, it's a perfect send-off for a lot of these seniors who aren't going to go on to play football, and it's a nice little bump for those who are going to go on to play football, be it at Tech or Northern.
Yeah. And like I said, for us anyway, this is the end of the sports season for these guys because they've all graduated and moved on. And that's why you make them kick it again. Is it shanked out of bounds? That's a 25, maybe 30-yard advantage for the red team right there.
Big swing. Big yardage swing.
We owe you a break. Let's do that now. Black 14-7 here on TV6. Wasting no time, right back at it. Here's Darren Johnson for the Red All-Stars, trying to make some magic happen, dumps it across, and there wasn't a receiver anywhere near that. That's going to be grounding against the former Gladstone Brave. And he's trying to claim that he had someone out of the backfield. Jerry, I didn't see it from here.
No, I didn't either. One of the
especially when he connected with one of the coaches of the other side of the field.
Yep. Again, that fatigue may really be coming into play. It's got to be really, really hot and humid down there, too.
And Johnson trying to argue his point, but, Darren, I think the world of you. And I watched you play at Gladstone a couple of times, but, I don't think you're fooling anybody there. So, grounding, and now the problem for the red team is this is a loss of down penalty.
Yeah, that one really hurt you.
So we're seeing, like I said, more and more of these mistakes happening as the game goes on. So the red team now, it'll be 2nd down and 20, and again, that's a loss of down play. Stepping in under center is Johnson. He's going to roll option to the left and pitch now, and there's just nothing there. They went once again to Logan Carroll, and he got gobbled up after a loss on the play of about 3.
Black All-Stars looking sharp there. Their defense is still paying attention. They're not going to.
Jeff Doughboy out of Stevenson in on the play for that'd be 75 on this side of the sheet. And there is no 75, so make up your mind here, Mark. Is that Seeley once again, Manastique? They run option. Oh, neither one. 6. All right, got in there for the Blacks. That's Bessera out of Stevenson. That's okay. Fatigue up here, too, I guess. And the red team looked like they broke the huddle with 12 again. They didn't see it this time. Shotgun for Johnson here on 3rd and forever. Can he get out of trouble? No, he cannot.
Some frustration there.
And getting there in a hurry for the Black All-Star team, Bryce Hornick out of Stevenson. As Darren Johnson didn't have plays like that too often when he was playing for the Gladstone Braves, but then again, the Braves played in the GNC, not against an all-star team from all over the UP.
Exactly. Got to be something like that. Must be frustrating when you're used to coming from a place where there's some form of, some dominance over your division or whatever, and then you go stack up against all-stars. It's different.
And all-star games, by their nature, usually the individual talent doesn't come to the forefront all that much. It's usually the best team effort that they're able to put together. As it'll be the red team having to kick this one away. Dropping back in coverage, Michael Wilson for the Black All-Star team. And this one's shanked as well. Pops straight up in the air, and everybody cries, fire drill, get away from it, get away from it. And finally, it's grabbed there by the red team. And Foster Miller out of lines. So the black shirts, again, boy, we talked about field position in that first half of play. This has been nothing but field position, and neither team really able to take too much advantage of it.
Yep. Well, we're seeing a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, false starts, things like that. Black team trying to rile their side up.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Clock not just a factor yet, unless the black shirted All-Stars can take it down and score. And then time becomes a real problem. But like we've been talking about, more and more mistakes being made as this 4th quarter has gone along. Stepping in is Perpich under center. And they'll run misdirection play, and up ahead they go. Good looking run. Got away from one, got away from another. Tyler Blakely from Newberry, he has a 13-yard gain.
I love those runs at the end where you don't just kind of cower down, like you stick it to the guy trying to tackle you. I love that.
31-yard line after Blakely has his first carry by my notes here in the football game. And now if the black team takes their time in this one, they could really do some serious damage to this clock. Now the Reds do have 2 timeouts remaining. However, they may be holding on to those here. Mike Baruti might be holding on to those for his offense.
Yeah, not a lot of reason for the black team to pass. I would just do the UP thing. Hand it off. Lower your shoulder.
And they give this one more time for Escanaba's Logan Carroll. There's not much there this time. As a matter of fact, a loss on the play of a couple of yards. And as we inch our way ever closer to 5 minutes remaining, there's the play clock being put back into play. So we've got 4.5, 4:40, right around in there. As you see, a great tackle there from Scout Bigger from Engadine. And the black shirts not really in any hurry whatsoever here. And what do we have there? Timeout. Black All-Stars want to talk it over, and we'll bring you the final 4:40 when we come back. UP All-Star Football Game, the 11th annual. It's yours right here on TV6. Superior Dome in Marquette, alongside Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, and our TV6 crew. Black-shirted All-Stars with that 14-7 lead, and they have the football 2nd down and 12. That's Sawyer Perpich out of Kingsford. He ducks in under center, and they gave again to Logan Carroll, and he got a face full of red jerseys, and he spins out of harm's way. That does keep the clock rolling, however, and that does leave the red All-Stars with 2 timeouts, no gain on the play, and a whole host of red jerseys in on that tackle.
Yeah, stiff hits. They stuffed him.
And clock becoming a thought without question here for Mike Baruti and his staff of the Red All-Star team.
I would say so. Black All-Stars in no hurry, obviously.
And you really don't want to pass here unless you absolutely know you've got the matchup you want, and they might right now with Jake Witt split out to that right-hand side, and he's got defensively Chase Kresge there from Kingsford. And instead, Logan Carroll on the give. Cuts to his right, dragged down. He got back to maybe the line of scrimmage. And now if you're the red team, you definitely use your timeout. And that's exactly what Mike Baruti is going to do. So now you're going to force the hand of the All-Stars wearing black.
Yeah, they're gonna force them to have to make a great defensive stop.
All right, so let's start popping some scenarios here. This is going to leave each team with 1 timeout. 14-7, the black-shirted All-Stars leading it. They have the football 4th, and we'll call it 10 at the 31-yard line of the red team. If you are the black All-Stars, you run, you don't get it, clock stops. You pass, you don't get it, the clock stops. So either way, you're going to stop in the clock. You could kick it from here. I'm not talking a field goal. A little pooch punt.
Sure.
Try and get down and cover it. Because as we've talked about, and I've seen no evidence that this is going to change yet, we're seeing more and more and more mistakes happening here. And the more you force the red team into a situation where they can make a mistake, the better off you're going to be if you're the black team.
I actually like that idea of a pooch punt. You just send it back and you sky it.
Now, it's not something that most high school kids ever practice is the problem. One thing you could do is, if you decide to kick, is just tell you got to kick it out of bounds and try and get as close to the 10-yard line marker as you can.
Sure. Yeah, you either aim for out of bounds or just kick it up into the roof of the dome.
Well, I can guarantee you we're not going to see anything but a play right here. Red team wants to hold on to that timeout, and so should the black team on this one. As that's Jake Witt split out to the left. Everybody else in tight on the formation. Sawyer Perpich is going to duck in under center on this one. Split backfield behind him with a slot receiver to the right side. Dropping back. Where's Jake Witt? Where is he? Right. Almost picked off. Oh, and that was 6 the other way. Stepping in front, Jacob Rivard out of Menominee. And he had a pasture in front of him. Either way you slice it and dice it, though, the red team gets the football back.
Yeah, if you can see this on the replay, that was a pick 6.
That was read perfectly, just out of his reach. And I'm sure even Rivard will tell you that's one he should have had. So here we go, final 3:43. Red All-Stars led 7-0. They trail it now 14-7. 2 third-quarter touchdowns by the Black All-Star team. In what has been a good one for the record books here this afternoon.
It's been a fantastic game.
So if you're wearing red, is it Alec Blank? Is it Darren Johnson? It's Alec Blank. You think Johnson's in the ballgame? Yeah, that's him tucked to the right-hand side, wearing number 3 at the bottom of your screen.
He's got wheels.
And he's got single coverage on him as well. Blank might be looking for him. Pops it in the air. They're looking for Johnson, and he fought off the receiver, grabbed it at the 41-yard line. Can't cover it any better on that if you're wearing number 20, Micah Wilson out of Norway. And Johnson just skied for it and came down with a rebound.
Yeah, no need to feel ashamed if you're Micah. That was, he couldn't do any better, as you said.
Get another look at this one here, and good protection. And again, Blank's able to put a little less air underneath that. Might give Johnson a little bit more chance to make an even better play, but he just grabbed it, secured it with 3:29 remaining. Clock goes back into motion here.
That's how you want to start a drive.
And Blank out of the shotgun. That's Johnson here to the bottom of your screen. Crowd coming to life, anticipating something big. Johnson up ahead, got away from one, got away from another with some wheels, lost his balance after a gain of 15 yards.
The turf bit him.
Now there may have been a swat of an arm that just knocked him off balance just a little bit, but red team getting what they need out of Alec Blank, however. And you see, yeah, just a little bit of not much contact there, but he tapped his toe, 25-yard line, clock in motion. Will be under 3 minutes by the time we get this play in. Now remember, there's not a lot of urgency for the red shirts just yet. A lot of time, and you don't want to score too quickly.
No, you want to be methodical.
Top of your screen, that's Reholly. He has the only touchdown for the Red All-Stars. And they're going to direct snap and moving with it. And not much there. Wonder on the play. Did he get out of bounds? He did. They stopped the clock.
Tried to get around that corner, just ran
I
out.
like the play. It keeps you honest.
Sure.
And Scout Wonder is one that can make that cut and do some damage.
Oh, he's a great athlete. Just ran out of real estate there.
And a direct snap to him. That's the other thing I like, is these coaching staffs letting the kids play and letting them have some fun.
And again, if you've got that medical condition, football in the brain.
Reholly out top. Ortman is split to the right-hand side. Blank. Good protection. And they float it near. Oh, a great sliding catch. And that's going to be a first down at the 11-yard line. Reholly with the grab. Number 19 out of Newberry. That is first down at the just outside the 10. They can get a first down at about the half-yard line. Clock in motion. And we're going to be at about 2:05 by the time we get this snap underway. Well, we've had some fireworks, but we got some good ones lined up here at the end. Ortman, bottom of your screen. Reholly out top. That's Miller in the backfield along with Blank at quarterback. Blank up ahead, trying to find his way through. Ripped down after a gain on the play of about 3. Clock will stay in motion on the running play. And a quick check to the sideline as you see Alec Blank, and both he and Darren Johnson, strong games at quarterback, and you got to look at the other side of this game too with Severns and Perpich managing these games pretty well.
Yeah, despite all the mistakes and stuff, they've really done a good job.
It's going to be under a minute and a half to go before we get this play underway. It is second down and officially 7. They can get a first down inside the 1. Blank looks left, end zone. It is caught shy of the goal line. And a great grab from Reholly once again, and that's going to make it first and goal from inside the 1. Now the red team does not have 2 timeouts. Scoreboard's wrong. I believe they've only got the 1 because they just burned one at the end and they had one in the 3rd quarter. So with a minute 15 to go, the Red All-Stars trying to drag this one out a little bit. They'll have 4 cracks at it from about 9 inches away. So a final conference at the line of scrimmage for Alec Blank from Munising. Fumbled the football and it's loose on the turf. Oh my goodness, the black team, I believe, has jumped on it. And it'll be first down, Black All-Stars, with 49 seconds to go.
Wow.
You knew exactly what Alec Blank was trying to do. Just take that snap over center, and it went right through him, and there's 3 black jerseys right there. My goodness.
Good job by the Black All-Stars, keeping their heads up, paying attention to that.
You know, and we've talked this entire fourth quarter about mistakes.
Yep.
Mistakes and how they were just becoming more and more a part of this football game as the game went on.
I really think what you pointed out earlier is it. My hands are sweating up here in the booth.
So Perpich will step in at quarterback, and they go with a quick inside hitter to give themselves a little bit of room, and the final timeout is going to be called here by the Red. Now what this just did is this now has given the black team room to take a snap, take a knee. They didn't have that before. They were at about the 1 yard line. You take a snap and take a knee, you risk a safety. And kicking the ball away. And giving the Red All-Stars a little bit of wiggle room here at the end. So if some of you are questioning why would they run a play and exchange the handoff, that's why. You needed to have that room and get a little bit of better field position.
After that, I would take a knee, though. This has been such a tough game for both teams. I would be satisfied.
Well, they still show the red team with 1 timeout. That is, I don't believe, accurate. But either way, my goodness, what a high school all-star football game. And this one, the last couple have been as promised. The 2 years ago with the Ozzie Corp show from Ishpeming, and he put his team on his back and carried him through that fourth quarter. You and Ethan had a good one last year. And another good one here. And again, this speaks to the quality of these coaches and the guys that they pick for this all-star game.
And what's great, too, is they're very different games each year, too, of course.
Yep.
You know, last year, there was plenty of scoring last year. This year, it's much tighter, and it's come down to these kind of fourth-quarter mistakes that has us at 14-7.
Well, again, the scoreboard showing 1 timeout for the Red All-Stars. I really am convinced they don't have that last one to save them. Sawyer Perpich from Kingsford, he's going to step in under center. And he's just going to spring forward. The Reds trying to strip it out of his hands, and boy, that would have been close. Looked like he bobbled it for a moment. And the Red All-Stars cannot stop the clock, or can they? I don't believe they have a timeout to save them, even though there's one listed on the board. And so all that needs to happen here is nothing. Black shirts don't need to do a thing. They just set the play clock in motion, and that is going to be it. No need to snap the ball one more time. 7-0 it was halftime. The red team with the lead. The Black All-Stars, 2 third-quarter touchdowns, and they win the 11th annual UP Football All-Star Classic here at the Superior Dome.
Excellent game played by both teams, and the Red All-Stars came so close to the goal line to tying this one up.
So the last-second fumble on the 1 is going to be the play that everybody looks at, Jerry, but as you know as well as anybody, you look at an entire football game, a lot of mistakes on both teams. The Red Up team with multiple opportunities prior to that. If you take a look back at this game and all the things that could have done this, that last play probably the most dramatic of them, but there were many that were differences here in this ball game. But the Black Shirts, they win it by a count of 14-7. We'll be back to wrap things up at the Dome just a couple of moments here on TV6. One of the great traditions here of this All-Star game is that handshake. Here's what opened it up. Reholly on the catch here off the hands of Darren Johnson. And that is where we had halftime. It was a low-scoring affair here for this football game. And then we get into, well, second part of this football game. The quick toss, the quick catch, and the Black All-Stars, they tied it, kicked the extra point, and then a very, very simple play is what got this done at the end as they pitch back Logan Carroll out of Escanaba, which would turn out to be the game winner following the extra point. And that's where we wrap things up here. 14-7, the Black All-Stars over the red here in the Superior Dome. Jerry, appreciate it, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, great game as always. It's great to see these kids get one last game of football under their belts. Good job. Thanks to that man right there, Todd Goldbeck, for all that he does to get this game on. It's been a pleasure, and it's been a heck of a game.
All righty, so that's going to wrap things up here from the Superior Dome in Marquette. Looking forward to the upcoming college football season as well, but boy, nothing like having a little high school football implanted on your brain here as we head towards the 4th of July. So for Jerry Tudor and our entire TV6 crew, Mark Evans, thanks for joining us. The 11th annual UP Football All-Star Classic right here on TV6.
If you like defense, this was your kind of all-star game. Just 3 touchdowns as Team Black held off Team Red 14-7. After the game, award winners were announced. For Team Black, Houghton's Jake Wyla was the defensive most valuable player. He was all over the field and many times in the red backfield. Bark River Harris's Ryan Arndt earned most valuable player honors on the offense for Team Black, and Sault Ste. Marie's Francis Scheid was presented with the Team Character Award. For Team Red, Jacob Revard of Menominee earned the defensive most valuable player honor. Jeff Rahley of Newberry was tabbed the most valuable player on offense, and West Iron County's Neil Tomasowski was named the winner for Team Character. Thanks again for joining us. Again, the final score of the 2018 UP Football All-Star Game, Team Black 14, Team Red 7. I'm Mike Ludlum. For Mark Evans, Jerry Tudor, and our production crew led by Chad Grunenberg, have a great summer.